All right, guys. We are here today. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. It is Monday. Oil is back down today. I've been trying to figure out why it's dropping all morning. A lot of stuff happened over the weekend. And honestly, this is the single largest week for 2026 so far, at the very least. We have the FOMC decision Wednesday, probably the main event of the week. We've got almost every major earnings report in the Mag 7 this week as well. We've got big economic data to end the week. We got March PCE and Q1 GDP data. We have two other central bank meetings, the Bank of Japan and I believe the ECB, making decisions and doing their stuff this week as well. And if we take a look at oil really quick, guys, oil is down. I was trying to figure out why this drop happened. The only thing I could really see, there was a couple quotes, but nothing really at 6:30 market time when this came out. And yeah, I was trying to figure out what was going on here because oil dumped. It was very specific. Like if we look at this here, it was very specific. This seems to be right at, if we take a look at this, this seems to be right at 6:30 market time. This started here. So right around 6:30 market time, oil started to fall. The only thing I can really find is most people are blaming this on U.S. traders waking up for the day and starting to trade and seeing the potential ceasefire agreement between the U.S. and Iran, or not that, see the offer from Iran is really what it was, and maybe getting optimistic, and that means oil's going down a little bit. Yeah, that's could be what this is. If you guys know what made the market drop, I looked at a lot of different sources. We also had earnings come out today. We had Verizon just show up. VZ, I believe, is what Verizon is. And Verizon's up pretty big from their earnings report. You can kind of see it right here. Verizon is jumping up. They posted 128 versus 121 EPS. Revenue of 4.44 billion versus 34.8 billion expected. So pretty good revenue as well. Adjusted EBITDA 13.4 billion versus 13.14 billion expected. So better than expected EBITDA as well. Business revenue 9.42 billion. They expected 7. So they killed it with revenue is what Verizon did. And they're up to $48.50 today. I'm not really a big fan of Verizon, but it did good on earnings. I got it. As much as I hate to admit it, it did good on earnings. What can I say? We also had Germany's Merz speaking a little bit on the Iran war. He said an entire nation is being humiliated by the Iranian leadership, especially by these so-called revolutionary guards. He said the Strait of Hormuz has been partially mined. The Iranians are clearly stronger than one thought. They're negotiating skillfully, he says, and all this other stuff. If we take a look at assets this morning, gold, because I know that's what Britt was going to ask me. Where's
it
gold?
Totally is. Good morning, everybody, by the way.
Yeah, gold is at 4,700s an ounce right now. 4,700. Silver is at 75.73. So a lot of these are really flat. Now, remember, this is the Fed week. So we got a lot of stuff going on this week, guys. A lot of stuff going on. What's up, Check, Mac? Basically everybody here. Hold on, let me say hey to everybody. What's up? Ava, Steve, Apex, John, Wanna Be a Trader, My Dad's Account, Yellowfin, MVK, Big Slum, Yee, Dragos, Glass Half Full, Matthew, Max. I don't know if I said Jason. I'll say it again. Jason, Demetrius, Mr. Green, Guillermo, Raga, Cursed, Z's, Boo Boo Bear, Checkboard, Hung, Timber, F, Black Mamba, Toxic, OF. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Ron? Who reports this week? So on Thursday this week, guys, on Thursday this week is when most of the ones start. So today we have Verizon, we have Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza missed EPS. Or no, I'm sorry. That is Domino's Pizza. Domino's Pizza missed EPS and revenue. And so I'm assuming they're down pretty significantly here because they did not do good. Honestly, bro, every time I eat Domino's Pizza, I get sick. I don't know what it is about their pizza. My stomach can't handle it for whatever reason. I can eat Pizza Hut all day. But I like, just to be fair, I actually like Domino's a little bit more. Their wings are definitely weaker than Pizza Hut's, but I actually like Domino's more. I can't eat it. I can't eat it as well. But yeah, they're down.
Well, Domino's has gotten tasty enough to be like enjoyable, but still not good quality enough to like not give you stomach problems.
Yeah, no, for sure, 100%. And I, like I said, I like Domino's more.
Me too.
Yeah, Monday. Again, outside of that, we don't really have anything big. We got Bed Bath & Beyond, like an OG squeeze stock that you guys remember. Maybe. kind of. We have Spotify tomorrow morning, UPS tomorrow morning, Coca-Cola tomorrow morning, BP tomorrow morning, Hilton, GM tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow evening, we got Robinhood, which is probably the biggest one out of all of these so far. Visa, Enphase, NXP, Semiconductors. And then Wednesday morning, Wednesday's probably the biggest day. We got SoFi, Humana, AbbVie, Avis, Lemonade, and more. And then Wednesday evening is the biggest day of markets this week, which is we got the Fed meeting, and then we got Microsoft, Amazon, Meta, Google, QCOM, Chipotle, Ford, Carvana, and more dropping. So a lot of stuff happening on Wednesday. And then Thursday, I believe we have Apple earnings. And Apple is actually down a little bit today. It's dropping this morning. It's at 266 as of now, 266. We had a couple different stories come out, and let's talk about it. Eli Lilly is going to acquire Ajax Therapeutics, so $2.3 billion. If you look at Eli Lilly here, they are, mostly flat on the day. But yeah, regarding the, again, the big story I think could be moving markets is, there's a potential proposal from Iran. I'm looking this up now. Iran is basically saying at this point in time, we'll give you Hormuz back, but we're not giving up our nuclear program. So they're trying to separate everything. They're basically saying, let's get a deal done. We'll open Hormuz right now. But you got to let us do our nuclear. Or basically what they're saying is we'll deal with the nuclear thing later. I don't think this is going to fly, though. I mean, this is obviously not going to fly, I think. Regarding the U.S.
I was going to say the same thing. That's not going to happen.
Right. It's just not going to happen.
Most likely.
Yeah, it's unlikely. Yeah, that's right. Unlikely. But yeah, so they're trying to separate it. We're still doing the blockade. If we take a look at Hormuz right now, if we look at the ships transiting, there have been 5 ships, the last 24 hour, 5 ships. But yeah, Iran presented a proposal for reopening the strait, but part of that included them keeping their nuclear program, which I just don't think that it's going to work. It's obviously not going to work. I think, yeah, with that said, though, look at oil. Oil just dipped under the previous closing price. So oil actually just went red on the day. So oil is now officially red on the day, chat. We'll see if it holds down here, but oil's been mostly dropping. It's still pretty freaking elevated. Brent crude is over 105 right now. And yeah. QCOM is going to team up with OpenAI for mobile chips. Take the deal. Bitcoin ready. Yeah, Bitcoin has been up, man. Bitcoin was up yesterday when I looked at it. So Bitcoin will be up. Yeah. Yeah. Let me pull up Bitcoin. I had Bitcoin. I'm trying to find it. Sometimes I have too many windows up on my charts here, guys. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. There it is right here. Okay, I found it. Here's Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually dropping a little bit this morning. If we look at it. Still up, though. I mean, it's been sitting around 78,000 almost all weekend. But look at this drop, dude. I don't know what causes this drop on something like Bitcoin. Early this morning. Just, I guess, traders waking up. I saw yesterday, the futures market, if we look at the NASDAQ here. NASDAQ opened up red and then filled the gap. It was one of the more quiet Sunday opens that we've seen here. So the NASDAQ did open red and then filled the gap all the way back to the upside, and we ended up breaking all-time highs after that. So the NASDAQ hit 27,540s. So the NASDAQ broke all-time highs, and the S&P did as well. At least the S&P futures contract did. We won't see the actual S&P open up until 9:30 today, but S&P futures contract, the ES, did break all-time highs again. It got up to 7208s here. So one of the things we're seeing in markets is shorts are just getting hit. They're just getting beat up right now. If you've been shorting the market, they've just been getting beat up. But yeah, oil, guys, still back red. It did bounce back a little bit, though. Let's see if the 200 exponential or the previous closing price moves it here. But look at oil. So oil is now officially red on the day. The NASDAQ is still pushing higher here, too. Look at the NQ. Here's all-time highs. So this will be a really interesting thing to watch. Obviously, I think we have to pay attention to 27,540 on the NASDAQ here. But yeah. Let's see if the all-time high push continues here because it's big. Let me catch back up with the chat. What's up, Kato? Sell in May and go away. I think it's a little different right now, though, relative to most things. Like, I think it's a different dynamic than just sell in May and go away. A lot of people say that. Excuse me. And I'm feeling better this week, guys. Luckily, I'm feeling better. But yeah, people say sell in May and go, or yeah, or wait. Let me make sure.
Knock on wood.
Yeah. Trying to look at a couple different things here. I think this dynamic, people like to look at what happens on average each individual month of markets. But I think this is a little bit different, obviously, right now. I don't think it's a normal time where you can kind of just speculate on what's a good month for markets and bad month for markets. May is historically a red month. And if you look at this is from the Motley Fool. But May is historically a red month here.
Why is that?
I mean, sometimes there's not a reason. It's just what happens with certain companies' stocks.
It's just a trend that develops for
it's
no discernible reason.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably a reason somewhere.
Oh no, there probably is.
Yeah, May is generally red, 0.11%. But I think right now, and maybe heading into May, look, I think you can maybe make a thesis here that we're heading into May. Markets are really, really hot leading into this month. And so maybe because of that, just in terms of general trends, we're going to pull back a little bit, have a pullback, and we might have a red May. We'll see. It's not the worst month ever. The worst month is September. September, they call it the September slump. It definitely could be for tax reasons, tax adjusting, tax season. That could be true. But either way, it's one of the smaller red months we get, but September's the worst. Yeah, earnings yippee, last 10 years. Yeah, well, I mean, this is from 1928 to 1920 or to 2023. So aside from it's missing the last 2 years, but December killed me. Yeah, December, a lot of times we get tax harvesting, so we get people selling so that they can write off more losses.
I don't know why that just kind of struck me as fun. It's missing the last 2 years. I mean, all we have is like 100-year sample data.
Yeah, that's right. Wait, what is going on, bro? somehow, I can't tell if this is real or not. Hold on, I gotta check my chat here. Tech is on fire. Wake me up when September ends. Vacation sell-offs. Yeah, look at this. Promoted by Celsius energy drink, guys. It hooked up to my X page for some reason. At how many percent do you think the market might pull back around May? I don't know if we're going to. Again, I say you could make a thesis. Not that I'm necessarily going to make this thesis. You could make it. I'm not saying I'm doing it. You could make the thesis that market's up big. We're breaking all-time highs. Friday is May, basically. And so essentially we get a lot of stuff going on, and then Friday is May. And we got data coming in every day prior to that. Tomorrow we have the ADP jobs report, small report, but it's something. Tuesday, I believe we have some big earnings in the morning as well. Wednesday's the biggest day. Thursday we got a bunch of earnings and we have data. So we got a lot of stuff coming in before May. We'll see what it looks like. Nvidia's pumping up, guys. So Nvidia is very close to breaking all-time highs if it hasn't already. No, all-time highs, guys. Nvidia might be breaking all-time highs right now. So just to put this into perspective, guys, all-time highs on Nvidia are 212.19s. We are at 212, or we're at basically 212 right here. So if Nvidia gets over this light blue or this green line, it is breaking all-time highs this morning. Now, I don't think they're going to necessarily count it on this platform. It needs to be during actual market hours, not in pre-market. But Nvidia very close to all-time highs, making a huge move this morning in markets. A huge move. This is dragging everything else up. We did get recent news that around 7 ships passed through the Strait of Hormuz in the past 24 hours. 6 tankers. Yeah, it says 6 tankers carrying 10.5 million BBKs of Iranian oil turned around by U.S. forces and returned through Hormuz to Iran in recent days. This is according to Tanker Tracker reporting here. Yeah, let's take a look at Tanker Trackers. Okay. You freaking jerks. Yeah, here's one of the ones that I know people use a lot. Here's Tanker Tracker. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Alright, let's go in here into the straight. Dude, why is half of it like this? Hold on. Yeah, that's better. Yeah. Traffic seems... Alright, we got too many ads. I don't even know how to get out of this now. Does it only let me look at it for like a little while and then it goes away?
Probably. I hate that kind of bait, like trying to get you to subscribe to something.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it
I understand it, but it is annoying.
You know, it's just business, bro. I get it.
Oh, I know.
You know, it's like a free trial. Like, hey, look at this for a second. You like it? Boom, here's an ad.
Yeah.
You know?
A 30-second free trial.
Yeah, there's an ad for you. Here you go. Just for you, sir. Wait 3 to 6 months until this hits the economy. Who drained the oceans? It was me. It was me, guys. But yeah, so Apple iPhone sales are surging. Low-end demand hits margin. So Apple iPhone revenue rose 13% in March, with units up 10% according to Bernstein Société Group. Growth was driven by strong demand for lower price models like the iPhone 17e, which boosted volumes but pressured average selling prices. And despite a weak global smartphone market, Apple gained share and ranked #1 in unit sales for the quarter. Still, Apple's down pretty significantly this morning.
You were saying that was because they premiered a new, cheaper unit?
I think so, yeah. Their margins are ultimately getting hurt by this. I'm gonna have to pull... Yeah, let me see. Yeah, but again, we did get news just now that 6 tankers carrying around 10.5 million barrels of oil turned around by U.S. forces to return through Hormuz to Iran in recent days. Around 4 million barrels of Iranian oil on board tankers passed through the U.S. blockade, according to Tanker Tracker.
Was it 6? I thought you said 7.
Well, we're getting different updates. One of them said 7 ships. The other one said 6.
Okay. So 6 to 7.
Yeah. Rate pause on the 29th. Yeah, we're going to pause rates. So let's take a look at yields. Look, guys, we are going to be pausing rates. Obviously. You know, it's Jerome Powell's last Fed meeting. I mean, I think it would be kind of funny if he just left with some, like a crazy, shocking move, you know. Just
a mic drop moment.
Right, just a mic drop moment. But I don't think he's going to do that. The question would be, what would that be? That would probably be a rate hike for Powell, I'm assuming here, you know. Powell's like, inflation's too high, boom, we're raising rates. And I hope he doesn't. I don't want him to raise rates necessarily. But if we look at yields this morning, guys, here's yields. If we look at these this morning, we're down slightly on the day. Down slightly. We kind of opened up a little bit higher and then filled some of that gap back down to the downside here. And this is probably from lower oil. You know, oil did go red on the day here, so it's back green on the day, but it was much higher. It's at 96s, it's at 94s now. So oil coming back down, probably helping, you know, bring yields back down a little bit with us this morning. If we look at 2-year treasuries, because remember, guys, the dynamic here is yields and interest rates follow each other. So if yields go down, that means we have lower interest rate sentiment. Why would we have lower interest rate sentiment? Why would we cut rates earlier than expected? Well, if inflation gets under control, i.e. oil gets under control, then maybe we'll have lower rates. And so yields and interest rates, yields tend to drop with oil prices, especially right now, since oil prices are such a big part of the inflation worries that we're getting in markets right now, just so everybody can understand that dynamic. Yeah, his tie is going to be purple. What if his tie was red? What if he comes out with a red tie? You know? What would you guys do?
What's the joke there?
The joke is that Powell almost always wears like a neutral color tie. It's almost always like purple. Sometimes it's light purple, sometimes it's dark purple. But generally, Powell's tie is almost always purple. He very rarely strays from purple. And so the joke is that if Powell comes out with a red tie, you know, stuff might hit the fan. Like shit might hit the fan, everybody freaks out. You know, it might be a symbol of, it might be a cryptic message from Powell, you know. People like to speculate on Powell's tie color, but it's almost always purple in some form of purple. Oil back up a little bit though here, guys. Let's see if we got anything going on, but oil is pushing higher. Goldman Sachs raised its oil forecasting, Brent at $90 and WTI at 83 in quarter four, citing reduced Middle East supply and prolonged disruption. Yeah. See, every time I click this, dude, it's kind of frustrating. Every time I click on X, like, my page just starts going here. Flip the script. Real is going to acquire Remax. Sell in May and go away. Let's do a poll here. I don't think I've done a poll today, guys. So let's do our poll today. It's time. What's a good poll? I'm definitely feeling better, bro. I've mostly been fine the last 2 days. My nose is still a little stopped up. Like, I can't go back and train jujitsu yet because my nose is all stopped up and, you know. But I digress. Back to the point. We are better mostly.
I'm curious as to whether or not Nvidia is going to break all-time highs.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. Is it time to buy Nvidia right here? Is it time to buy Nvidia? Chat, yes or no. Do you want to buy Nvidia where we're at now? And let's just put this out there. People are going to say, oh, well, how long are we holding? Let's just say, is it time to buy Nvidia and hold for 5 years? Buy Nvidia, hold for 5 years, yes or no? Put yes or no in chat right now. I see no,
5 years?
no,
Yes.
no. For 5 years, I'm holding it, dude.
Me too.
5 years is not super long time investment-wise. Like, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible that... it's definitely possible Nvidia goes up a little bit for a year or two and then has this big drop with a correction in markets, but yeah.
Someone says no, the time for that was last month.
Last May was big for markets. We're pretty split, but a lot of no's in terms of buying Nvidia where we're at now. Y'all don't believe in the future of AI?
And honestly, over a 5-year term, that kind of surprises me.
Yeah, y'all don't believe in the future of AI, guys? Look, I'll put it this way. How about this? What about the next 15 years? Bro, I'm buying Nvidia and holding for the next 15. You know, what about the next 15 years? Would you buy it and hold for 15 years on Nvidia?
Absolutely.
And I want to ask you guys, if you're saying no, what's your argument with that? What's your argument with that? There's no future with AI? Come on now.
No way.
I understand 5 is risky. Right, like if 5 is risky, you know why? It's because we could crash in 3 years and then you're underwater in that position in 5. If your answer is no for 15, explain it. I'm curious, genuinely curious. It's all love. We can agree to disagree. I disagree for 15. I think AI is going to be crazy big in 15 years. Nvidia is going to be freaking massive. But again, if you disagree, let me know why. I'm curious.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree, and we can also agree that you're all wrong.
You're wrong, man. You're wrong. Yeah. AI is the future? Yeah, no, 100%. I know, man. Listen, I know. I'm right there with you.
Neuromorphic computing could disrupt it. Is that what I think it is? Neuromorphic? Is that like a hybridization of like a actual biology and technology?
Yes. Well, it's a brain-inspired approach, and I definitely didn't just Google this right now, guys. It's definitely not. Look, get that out of your mind. I did not Google this. I did not Google it. But I think it's probably... Yeah, I think it's probably defined something like... It's a brain-inspired approach that designs hardware and software to mimic the human brain's neural structures for faster, highly energy-efficient AI using artificial neurons and synapses. These systems could excel at a real-time edge-based task like recognition while consuming far less power than traditional binary computers. That was just in my mind already, guys.
I was about to say, is that what you think it is, John? Really?
Yeah, that's what I think it probably is. Something like that.
Just off the top of your head? Just
off the top of my head. Just brainstorming, like, that's what it is. But no, what he's trying to say is like we saw some worries about Nvidia with AI models like DeepSeek, right? And DeepSeek basically came out with an AI model that said, hey, we're going to use much less power, much less chip need, and we're going to give like a cheaper version of an AI system with DeepSeek. And when they announced this is a Chinese model, Nvidia fell. And so you could theorize that in the future, that's going to become more and more of a thing and more of a thing. At the same time, though, I think, I don't know. I think Nvidia is still going to be at the top of their game, even with that. I still think we're going to need chips in a huge way in the future, obviously.
Yeah, I agree, and I just think that I mean, when you're talking about the company that's already at the top of the market, you kind of have to give them an edge at least going into these things. I mean, somebody might come up with something revolutionary that completely, unseats them, but
Right.
going into it, I think they have the edge.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I agree. I mean, they're just huge, So I mean, that's something that we're gonna see moving forward with them. Is that I think we're still gonna need them. I think the next 15 years. I've said it once, dude. I'll say it again. AI is obviously gonna grow a crazy amount. Maybe people find a better way. But yeah, I see some people talking about SanDisk. Man, memory prices just crazy high, over 1,000.
Up from what?
SanDisk is memory prices vary depending on how much. I recently tried to buy 64 gigs and it was like $1,000 or something like that for RAM sticks. It was too much. I was like, you know what? I don't need 65 or 64 gigs. I need 32. Just give me 32. I'm all right. But yeah, it's just so expensive right now. So expensive. Is AI in a bubble, chat? No, I didn't block you. Yeah.
I mean, if it isn't a bubble, I think it's the beginning of a bubble, not the end.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I go back to Alan Greenspan and irrational exuberance. He said that the internet bubble was here about 4 years before it actually popped. So,
Yeah.
But no, I see you, Sam. Sorry, dude. We just got a lot to talk about today. I'm not really responding to too many comments today, so I'm trying. Somebody pumping it. What? Oh, I see somebody pushing crypto, silver and gold mines are the new tech. My brother made 700,000 before the split. Yeah, so I see. Yeah, Britt, you could ask this question. Britt says, "Why is it so expensive, like RAM?" It's mostly because AI is raising the price of all of it. Like AI needs this as well, and so there's mainly 3 companies that make all the RAM in the world. SanDisk, which is SNDK stock, and this one has pushed up what, like 30% just in the last month or two.
Wow.
Yeah, and so there's also SK Hynix and Micron. So MU.
Yeah, we've talked about SanDisk a lot,
500.
but never the other two. I've never heard of those.
Yeah, well, Micron's big. I remember when Micron was $90 a share, but these 3 companies, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, make 95% plus of the world's DRAM memory. So they don't make memory, like cheap memory for laptops and phones anymore. They started making expensive memory for AI chips, essentially.
Okay, and that just drove up the price of regular.
Of everything, yeah. It just supply and demand. More demand for everything because of AI. Higher prices they're going to charge, right? And so that's kind of the nature of it, unfortunately. And yeah, we've just seen crazy gains by these crazy gains. The question is, does this hold? Does this dynamic hold? Speaking of that, look at Micron, dude. Micron's up to 514s today. Nvidia's getting very close to all-time highs as well, guys. It's at 21160s here, 21160. So let's see if this holds. But man, SanDisk earning in a few days. Yeah. No, 100%. Oh, there's no poll? Okay, let me do a poll here. What's a good poll question for the day, for the chat today, guys? Light looking interesting. What's up, Pew? Water and house. Memory stocks crash hard when they're no longer needed as much. Yeah, I mean, they're always going to be needed, but maybe not in the same way. Does Nvidia break all-time highs today? I think it does. I think it's going to be very hard for us to be this close to all-time highs unless the broader market just turns the other way. I think Nvidia does break all-time highs.
I think it does too. And unless you just want to do something else, I think that would be a good poll question.
Yeah, I mean, we could ask, does Nvidia break all-time highs today? I think I'm going to do this poll, and then it's going to break all-time highs in about 2 minutes. And then I'm going to have to change the poll. Yeah. Does Nvidia break all-time highs today, guys? Yes or no? I'm going to get this out here. I think it's going to break all-time highs in the next freaking 2-3 minutes, potentially. Don't clip this and be like, John said it, and then it didn't happen. But Nvidia is very close, very close. We are 31 cents away from all-time highs in Nvidia. 31 cents away. But the poll is now live. 78% of votes on the poll so far in the last 10 seconds say yes. 23 cents, 22% say no. Who's saying no out there, guys? Public shaming.
He sounded angry and accusatory.
Public shaming right now. Who said no out there? How dare you go against me?
Shame.
No. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to get a bell out right now. When we do break all-time highs, everybody put the bells out in chat and just say shame, you know. Not an investment professional, though, guys. I am not an investment professional. I am not liable if you lose. Don't do it. Don't copy me. You know. Yeah, TSM. Up to 417s.
You know, top 3 greatest traders of all time.
That's right. They doubt me, Britt. They doubt me. How could they do this to me? You know. I said no, but to be honest, I just clicked randomly. Yeah, Palantir back down to 140s. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna get with Palantir. I mean, I like Palantir long term, but a lot of this has to do with the conflict too, I'm sure. What's Palantir's PE ratio these days? Trailing 12-month PE ratio 227 as of April. Still pretty freaking high.
But it's MU or MU, whatever the hell the heck they're saying.
That's Micron.
Okay, I didn't know that was the shorthand for them.
Yeah, that's Micron. It's up to 515s. It's yeah, it's that big.
Okay.
Yeah, they sell semiconductor. They sell DRAM, which is what we just talked about.
Yeah.
SSDs. I'm short Tesla. Where is Tesla these days after last week here? Yeah, Tesla's at 375s here today, 375. So they've pulled back from 400 and plus where they were. Kind of dipped back down. So yeah, they're kind of where they were right around when earnings came out. But if their growth rate tanks, if their growth rates tank that forward PE means ish. Yeah, for sure. I mean, they could grow into it for sure, 100%. I've always said that about Palantir. They've got some big contracts. They do some big things. Like, I've always said that about Palantir. They could certainly grow into it. Do you think crypto does well today? Crypto, I'm not sure. Crypto, Bitcoin is what, 77 point something thousand right now. I don't know what Bitcoin does. I think Bitcoin follows markets to a certain extent, or markets can follow Bitcoin too, but yeah, remember guys, this Wednesday is Powell's last FOMC decision here. So it's his last FOMC decision. And yeah, we'll see what ends up happening here. But honestly, it felt really good to have a thumbnail that did not have the president in it. It's not nothing for or against them. I'm just saying, I'm getting, like, politics are always kind of an area where I try to go around. With that said, though, speaking of all this, we did just get some stuff, which is that Ibrahim Azizi, the head of the Parliament's National Security Commission, said that in this plan, it is envisioned that the financial revenues from the Strait of Hormuz be received in Iranian currency, the Iranian rial or RAL, and that the general staff of the armed forces be the authority for action in the strait. He said that this plan states governments in countries that have caused damage to the republic, blocked Iran's resources, or taken action against us in previous years must pay compensation. According to him, this plan is a draft and will go to the floor of the parliament to become law. So he's coming out saying some stuff. It's exhausting and disingenuous. Yeah, for sure. It's just one of those things where I just do not like politics. All of it. I don't like the whole realm of politics. It's just not my thing. It's not what I enjoy. You know. And with that said, here's the NASDAQ, guys. The NASDAQ very close to all-time highs. Nvidia so close to the... I guess we didn't break highs in 3 minutes. Are you guys bullish or bearish today? Let's look at our poll. We asked people, does the market break, does Nvidia break all-time highs today? Still 75% out of 130 plus votes. 26% say no. 74% say yes. Nvidia does break all-time highs.
I'm bullish today. And also, Sam and Ty, thanks for the correction. I appreciate it. Always looking to improve.
Yeah. Long's glad new Fed will be tested. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the next two Fed decisions are going to be really interesting just because this next one is Jerome Powell's last one. So it's the last meeting by Jerome Powell. Last time we're going to hear Powell talk, probably. I mean, as long as they confirm WARSH, which is looking to be more and more likely as time goes on, that they're going to confirm WARSH, meaning this is going to be Powell's last FOMC decision. Yeah, Nvidia up there. Again, here's oil, guys. Here's oil. Oil is still slightly green on the day, but it's down some over the last 2-3 hours here. So, Nvidia will break all-time highs. Yeah, I think so. I think Nvidia will probably break all-time highs. It's close enough up there, you know, that I think it's good. It might have like a magnet dynamic here.
I wonder how quickly it's going to break them, or it, whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's really close up here. Like, it's very close. All-time highs are... Now, it depends on what you clarify. Some people are going to consider only all-time highs breaking once the market is open at 9:30. Yeah, and maybe that's true. But it depends on a lot of stuff.
Is that the only time... Like, does it not go on record if it's not when the market is open?
In some platforms, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, it technically... It should be during market open, and we'll probably get it, I guess. You never know. You know, everybody always assumes the trend is going to continue. We've seen a lot of bullishness over the last few days. Market's breaking all-time highs. If we look at like a longer-term trend here, in like the NASDAQ specifically, we can look at... NASDAQ had so many green days in a row. This is a big run markets have been on over the last couple days here. So, the last few weeks here, really since... Honestly, we've been pretty freaking green almost all of April, if we look at this. Almost all of April, we've been green. Like, just to put this into perspective so far, it is now April 27th. And in the NASDAQ, here, we're getting some noise from you, Britt. But in the NASDAQ, we have had only 2 red days all of April. 2. One here, one here. Those are the only red days we've had this entire month so far. Which is kind of a crazy dynamic. If you look at the S&P here, futures... S&P's the same thing. We've only had 2 losing days in the entire month of April so far on the S&P 500. The Dow, I think, has been a little bit different. Yeah, the Dow has seen much more red days. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 red days in the Dow. So the Dow is a different story. But the NASDAQ and the S&P have only seen 2 red days for both of them in the entire month of April so far. So, yeah. No, this is a daily chart. This is a daily chart. It looks like a 1 minute chart though. It does look like a 1 minute chart.
What is CBR? Someone's asking you to check that.
I don't know what CBR is.
I'll look.
Yeah, I don't know. Here's Nvidia. So we're about to hit 8 o'clock in markets here. Markets are about to hit 8 o'clock. Yeah. Oh, I was trolling. Okay, that's fair.
Looks like it's Chicago Rivet. Okay.
I see somebody say, look, historically, what happens after a run like we have usually marks only the start of a very long bull leg. The Chicago River.
Chicago
I don't know the
Rivet
geography of
and
Chicago.
Machine Company.
Yeah. Does Chicago have a river? Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, dude. I don't know the geography of Chicago. I really don't. You know, Britt.
They dye it green. Yeah, I lived there for 2 years. They dye it green
Yeah.
every day. I mean, every year
day.
for
Wow.
St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, no, I've seen that actually. I have seen that. Yeah. So I see somebody asking about Marvell. Marvell's good too. I made a lot of money on Marvell last year.
Are you still getting feedback from me, or is it okay?
No, you're good. Yeah, you're fine. Okay. Look at Marvell though. You put up a weekly chart of Marvell. Look at this. Look at this gain it's made. Yeah. Yeah, guys. So we're gonna switch to markets pretty soon to like stocks. We're gonna look at levels. Nvidia breaking 215 today. Chicago has wind on occasion. No, dude. The Windy City's not windy. Bro, honestly, I've been to Chicago. Yeah, I've been to Chicago. It's actually incredibly windy. Like, I used to take a Greyhound up to Canada, you know, when I was like a teenager. My parents would just, are they buying me a plane ticket? No, dude. They're never buying me a plane ticket. They're throwing me
$13 bus ticket.
Right, they're throwing me on a Greyhound and they're saying, go, dude. Like, just go. Just go. And one of the times I went through Chicago and it was snowing. And I had to walk from the bus station to the train station. Or maybe it's from the train station to the bus station. I had to go through Chicago, dude. And I had like the skimpiest, like Louisiana style jacket ever. You know, and that wind just went straight through me. Just straight through me. The bus station, super sketchy too. Super sketchy. I don't recommend it. But yeah. The Windy City was right. The Windy City was right.
Someone said they have a river and a lake. I mean, I don't know if you could really call that a lake. It's a little too small, you know?
Yeah. Ugh. All right, guys. So we are going to pivot to strategy time, you know? From Lubbock to Amarillo, we know the wind. I'm pretty sure there's a country song about Chicago somewhere, you know?
Yeah, it's like the most country place ever.
Right. Listen, I hear there's a lot of cowboys there. I do, you know? But yeah, guys. All right. So NASDAQ, we're still watching Nvidia here. Let's see if the 8 a.m. markets boost this here. But here is Nvidia here today, guys. Here's Nvidia. Yeah, guys. So today we're going to talk about the volume weighted average price a bunch. You know what? I'm going to remove the 200 exponential just from this chart altogether. See if we have just a VWAP option.
It was a joke, Matthew.
Yeah. So here's the volume weighted average price. We're watching Nvidia up there. But one of the reasons you should use the volume weighted average price for your indicators is that it tells you the trend and it gives you an idea, like it can help predict reversals as well. So like if we look at the NASDAQ here, here's the volume weighted average price. One of the things, I like the 200 exponential and the volume weighted average price, but the volume weighted average price, it specifically stays there. So it doesn't really move. And regardless of what time frame you're looking at, if you're looking at, you know, regardless of which time frame you're looking at, you can look at a 1 minute, like just to look at this, the VWAP right now. Let me show you guys this. Is at 20, look at that, it pointed right at it. 27,450 is the VWAP right now, 27,450. I can look at a 5 minute chart. And again, if we look at a 5 minute chart, same thing, 27,450. We can look at a 10 minute chart. 27,450. We could look at a 4 hour chart. It's going to be right around 27,450. Although it's harder to read because the longer term you zoom out, the harder it is to really gauge. If we're looking like a daily chart, it just kind of sticks to the candlesticks. But point is, it stays the same regardless of which short-term chart you're looking at. And because of this, it's relevant. You know, because of this, it makes sense to pay attention to. Why? Because other people watch it. Like, look, and it helps you identify trends here. So if you look at this current chart on the NASDAQ, you can see we're underneath it, which means we're in a downward trend. We slowly start to push over. We pull back. Once we start holding for a period of time over it, markets get a little bit more bullish. You know, and so people use this as a trend turner. Like, we can put a 5-minute chart up. It might be a little bit cleaner here, actually. But we actually break above the volume weighted average price, and then we pull back to it. We find support at the volume weighted average price. So people use it as a pivot point. So essentially what people do is they wait for markets to climb over it. They look to hold support, and then they either buy this dip and attack it. Another strategy that I actually like doing, let me see if I can find an example of this on the VWAP. I like taking what's called a VWAP rejection. Everybody kind of defines this differently, though, on the short side. But one of my favorite strategies, here's a good example of it right here, is that I look for us to break underneath the volume weighted average price and then confirm one rejection right here. Once we get like one rejection, that's when I like the bearish trend a lot more. And you can use the previous rejection as kind of like a risk level. And so you can see we reject it once, it kind of shows that rejection. And then we pull back and we end up maintaining a downward trend for like a few hours really afterwards. I also like it. Let me see if I can find an example. Like, if here's the volume weighted average price, I like it when this happens, where we break underneath it, we rebound back above it, and people get really optimistic, and then we flush back down underneath it, right? That's when I'll short like a little pop here, because people got all optimistic on the long side, and then they got squeezed out of it, on, you know, as we move back down. And so it's just kind of a fake out. It's almost like a head and shoulders around the volume weighted average price. You could also do it around the 200 exponential. I'll see if I can find an actual example of it. I'm just drawing the trend right now so people can understand it. But I like it whenever we break underneath the VWAP. It looks like we might go higher. We might even break above it, and then we reject it and then continue down like this. I like shorting this little pop.
How often does that strategy tend to work for you?
I mean, it depends on the system. It depends on the setup. It depends on what time of the day it is. It depends on how you're managing your risk in this trade, you know, in this type of thing. I got to put a longer term look at this up though. Hold on. Let's see, 1 minute, 1 day. Let's put 10 days up here and just look at it. We can look at it 1 minute or 5 minute. But I think one of the universal patterns that people tend to watch is the VWAP and the head and shoulders as well. So if we can get like a good example of this, and just to clarify, you can see, like, look at the VWAP here. So this is the volume weighted average price. Look at how much markets are just reacting to this level here. Here's the opposite of it. Here's the long example of it, where we're in an upward trend, we pull back down under the volume weighted average price, and then immediately go back higher here. And then what do? We maintain over it for a specific period of time. That's kind of the long version of it. I like the down version more. I like head and shoulders a lot more on the downside here. Here's an example of it right here. So again, we're above it. We're trending well. We break down underneath it. We start to push above it for a little while. We start to push above it for a little while, and it looks like we're going to go green, and then boom, we just kind of rip down underneath it. And remember, I like shorting this first little bounce, and then look at the big rejection you get at it. Like a big rejection you get at it. Now, it's not always perfect, but it also, if you like longer term trades, it can just kind of confirm a downward trend, right? So you can just wait for like another test of it and short that area and then move down. You know, I like using those type of systems a lot, but some of this is definitely, like, this right here looks to be catalyst driven of some sort on the NASDAQ. And so it's not always perfect, but it's useful, is my point. Like, the overarching point I'm trying to make here is this is useful. What's up, chat? I have an order flow VWAP strategy that has an excellent success rate, bit complex to explain here. Yeah, all good, brother. Where's Nvidia at? Is Nvidia breaking these highs? But yeah, I like talking about VWAP. Tomorrow we'll talk about the 200 exponential. Nope, Nvidia is not breaking all-time highs, which means the NASDAQ probably isn't as well. Yeah, NASDAQ's starting to come back down.
Is it, it's not going down, right? Is it sideways?
Yeah, I mean, look, and one of the reasons with like current market structure that you can look at the volume weighted average price and see is like the VWAP will show you the trend. And so if we're maintaining above it, we're in an upward trend. If we break down below it, we're in a downward trend. And if we're just kind of chopping over and under it like this, which does happen, that means we're sideways. We're neutral. You probably don't want to mess with it in that way. Like it's kind of neutral. There's not a lot going on in that situation.
Okay.
Yeah. Bounce off the VWAP, maybe, but we're also kind of like broadly choppy right now. So, you know, looking at the current context of the NASDAQ, maybe we could certainly bounce off of the VWAP here. We bounced off of it right here. But really, what I'm seeing is like longer term chop, you know? And so I don't know what we're going to do. I think we don't really have any catalysts like that this morning. And so short the pops. I'm all about home runs and hedging. Yeah, and I mean, look. Let me check. Make sure no market news is coming out, but I don't think anything is. Michael Saylor is buying 3,273 Bitcoin worth 255 million. Is the president speaking today? Policy meeting.
Wait, who bought that much?
Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy. So MicroStrategy basically just acquires Bitcoin over time. Okay. But because of that, they kind of move with Bitcoin. But yeah, they acquired 3,273 Bitcoin. It's worth $255 million at an average price of $77,906 per Bitcoin. They've received a Bitcoin yield of 9.6% year to date in 2026. They currently hold about $61.8 billion worth of Bitcoin at 75,537 per coin. So,
yeah, so they kind of move that market, huh?
Yeah, I mean, just a little. They got a couple coins. You know what I mean? It's not like a crazy amount, but they got a couple.
Yeah, not real impressive.
Yeah. You don't stop until he acquires 5% of Bitcoin circulation. Yeah. Yeah, and just to understand how to set risks, like the way I like to set risks, the way I like to set risks, and let me do my sub-only mode here. We're going to put it in sub-only mode, guys. There you go. We are in sub-only mode. Announce yourself. Show us that you're subscribed. We appreciate it. All right, we appreciate it. Sub-only mode. We'll see what happens for the rest of the day here. But we're going to try to do this kind of strategy time every day. Let me know if you guys like the strategy time. We'll continue to do it in a second. But we're going to try to do this every day.
I find it very informative personally. I mean, granted, I'm sure every single person in the chat knows more than I do, but still in all.
Yeah. Only the best are in sub only mode. That's right. You know. But yeah, we'll see if we bounce at the VWAP here. I don't think it's necessarily bad if you think we're going to continue in an upward trend. I just think markets might be a little apprehensive ahead of the Fomc decision this week. I think we have the Fomc decision. We've got like 4 or 5. We've got like 10 major earnings reports this week. The Fomc decision. We have, like I said, we got the Fomc decision. We've got 10 major earnings reports. We've got PCE inflation for March, and then we got Q1 GDP data. So we got a lot of stuff that could scare markets heading into the week. And so we'll look at some levels here to pay attention to in the NASDAQ. The first one I'm looking at is 27,550. I think 27,550 makes sense. It's right above the highs. We got this isolated low down here, just under 400. And I think a lot of traders just intraday on the NASDAQ are going to be watching this specific level here, just because if we break underneath this level, I think traders are going to start to get a little bit more bearish, a little bit more nervous on the day, so to speak. And so if we break underneath this big isolated obvious level, people might get nervous. You can also see we have the low of the Sunday session right here in the NASDAQ. So we have the low of the Sunday session right here. It's right around, what is that, 350? Yeah, right around 350 here. We'll call it 350 just to make it a whole dollar number, but we have that low right here. And so obviously I think if we start to break down, this will be the first step. If we break down under 27,400 like this, and then break down underneath this, Traders might start getting nervous. They might start to get a little bit more bearish on the day. Longs might cover. But, you know, you got to take this with a grain of salt because we are close to all-time highs on the NASDAQ and the S&P 500. S&P 500 has a very similar dynamic here, except those levels in the S&P are going to be right here at 71.81 or so is where that isolated low is. And then the low of the Sunday session for the S&P is about 71.70 or so. So yeah, we break underneath these two levels. We might go a little bit bearish on the day. We have this big isolated low down here. I think the big level that is staring a lot of people in the face right now, though, is 7,000 on the S&P. I think 7,000 is kind of where people started getting really optimistic on the S&P 500. So if we get close to that, people might get nervous. Now, we could just bounce there. But I think if we get close to that, people might get a little bit more nervous. Look at the S&P start to pop back higher here, though. Where's Nvidia at? Pause on rates. Yeah. On the back, BlackRock's trading bots are waiting. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, what is BlackRock doing?
I don't really watch the stock that much. I mean, it's a relevant stock, but it's also expensive and kind of sideways over the last year, you know. I mean, it's still up over the last year, don't get me wrong, but
It's not a substantial amount.
Right, yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think most eyes are on tech today. Nvidia, memory. Yeah. All right. Yeah, take profit's good. Yeah, I'm looking at news, but I don't see anything big. I see AbbVie submitted an application to FDA seeking approval of one of their drugs. Crohn's disease drugs, it looks like. White House trade advisor Navarro says the current administration is looking into high meat prices. Was the 8 a.m. dip for Nvidia? Yeah, Nvidia's kind of like bull flagging it right now, right? Would y'all consider this a bull flag on Nvidia short term? I mean, it looks pretty flaggy. Like, here's the poll, you know? Looks like a flag to me. AMD watch out a pull. And I think if we look at the longer term trend, obviously in like the S&P, NASDAQ, Nvidia, most things are looking bullish today. So I think the bias on most of them are going to be bullish. If you look at like an hourly chart here on the NASDAQ, it's looking pretty strong. 27,400 right around this level seems to be relevant also. Previous all-time highs up here seem to be relevant too, right here at like 150, 140, 150. So we'll see if we can get some strength here and push. But, you know, it is a big week. We got a lot of stuff going on. End of the month day is Thursday. Jerome Powell on Wednesday. I'm bullish through Wednesday. After that, I'm not sure. Yeah. Like I said, we'll see, bro. We'll see. Let's look at our poll. So we asked people, does Nvidia break all-time highs today? 72% say yes. 28% say no. So also, guys, join our Discord. It's completely free. It doesn't cost anything. There's the link in the chat right now. Join the Discord. We appreciate it. It's completely free. Doesn't cost anything. Obviously, you should use my my promo code, coupon code BGT. Get the max discount on most major prop firms. We appreciate it. And yeah, we'll see what we get today. NASDAQ's still coming down, though. Let's see if I can take some trades. We'll try to trade here. Let's try. We're at the VWAP. The VWAP's kind of different, though, on a couple different charts. So which one I'm looking at? Here's the micro NASDAQ. Why is the VWAP so different on this one? See where the 200 exponential is too. I like the 200 EMA as well. We're now underneath it. I might buy here a little bit on this account just because we have a lot of support potential milestone areas underneath me here. We get a pop higher here though. We got the previous closing price, the 200 exponential, the volume weighted average price. And so we got a couple milestone areas underneath me. But so I do see Iranian Oil Exporters Union says Iran is trying to export oil to China via the rail as the U.S. blockade pushes Iran towards extreme measures to keep pumping oil. Yeah. Advanced Money Destroyer, AMD? I don't know, man. AMD I don't think it's been a money destroyer. Is AMD a money destroyer, guys? I mean, it's up to 353s right now. It's looking pretty freaking strong for AMD, dude. With everything else. Do you like AMD? Are you a bull in AMD, guys? Let me know. Are you bullish in AMD? What do you guys think?
I don't know enough about it, so I'm just going to ask you what you think.
Yeah, I mean, I like AMD, honestly. You know. AMD stands for Advanced Microchips. And so I like AMD, you know. I don't know about short term. Short term, it's always unknown. I like it long term. Short term, it's up a lot. AMD, just to put this into perspective, if we look at this, and I'll come back to this losing trade that we're in right now. But this is an eval account, by the way, so I think we need to make 3,000 more to get funded. I thought we got funded last week on this, but apparently not. Here's AMD's charts. Let me make sure we don't have any breaking news coming out that might move things. Yeah, AMD, if we take a look at a longer term chart, I'm trying to see if there's a reason real quick. I'm checking breaking news. I'm trying to see if there's a reason markets are pulling back so fast right now. Could just be normal flow, but let's take a look. Again, it could be the Iran is trying to export oil to China via rail. And that the blockade is causing extreme measures here. Let's take a look at oil real quick, guys. No, oil's not really moving here. Nvidia. Could be Nvidia dipping down like this. I saw the MicroStrategy news.
What a profit grab calls it? Or am I just wrong?
AMD is one of my nemesis. Yeah, I mean, it could be a bunch of different stuff. It could just be Nvidia dropping, chips dropping. Y'all don't like AMD? What about ARM? ARM's definitely more obscure, but I made some money on ARM. I don't know what we're going to get short term for ARM, though. I really don't, you know. Yeah, we're still dropping here. I'll probably have to cut this trade, I think. I'll give it one more second. Famous last words, though. Let me give it one more second, you know. Yeah, Intel actually pulled a lot back. So Intel flew up last week. And it pulled a little bit back from everything going on as well. I don't know if it's causing this drop. It's still within the range of the earnings, though. Hey, what's up, Brad? Yeah, I'm going to have to cut this, I think, unfortunately. It's pretty small, though. We're up like 6 grand in this. So we'll come back to it. I want to see if Nvidia starts to bounce, though. Nvidia might be an interesting one. CFO resigned of Intel. Trump selling his shares of Intel. Yeah, market news is still pretty light for, honestly, this part of the day here.
What's Tesla doing?
Tesla's at 375s, 374s.
Okay.
I'm trying to get John's. Somebody said I'm trying to get John's thoughts on FLYQQ. Bro, why are y'all giving me nonsense stocks? Oh, FLYYQ.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a terrible penny stock, and I hate it, bro. You should know this already. Is it Spirit Airlines? Is it Spirit Airlines? I'm not buying it right now. I was never a big fan of Spirit anyway, dude. I think there's certain things you can go cheap with. I don't think airlines should be one of them. You know, no offense to Spirit. No. Shout out to Spirit. You know, but I'm not. You know, there's certain things you can be cheap with. Airlines ain't one of them, guys.
Yeah, I think most people would agree with you. I was, did quite a bit of flying 6 or 8 months ago, and there was nobody at those gates, dude. Like, nobody was flying Spirit.
Dude, nobody wants to fly. I mean, it makes sense, guys. It makes sense. Yeah, I mean, look at Car. So here's Ava's budget group. This was one of the biggest short squeezes we've seen lately. This thing went from $85 in February, got squeezed all the way up to $850s. Now it's under $200 again. Everybody's mad at this. Here's the problem I have with people that are upset about the drops that we're seeing in stocks. People are all upset about these drops that we're seeing with Car. Look, guys. If you're not going to be mad about this, you can't get mad about this, bro. This is how every major short squeeze ends. Y'all have not learned from short squeezes yet. Have y'all not learned from short squeezes yet, bro? We've got movies about them now. There's movies about short squeezes now, guys. You know, one of the things that's overwhelmingly true for short squeezes, they never freaking hold. They never freaking hold, bro. People act like they're going to keep going up indefinitely. They never hold. You know? Like, your job is to get in and out quickly. You don't want to sit in something like this, bro. Ava's Car Group at 850s. Come on now. You've made it. It's just
statistically impossible to hold that kind of climb, I think.
Right. Like this is just how it goes. At a certain point, you should say, hey, maybe I should sell. Guys, it happened with GameStop. Look, dude, I was in GameStop. I wrote it up to like 550s in GameStop. I had thousands of people watching my stream at the time. And I told him, I was like, look, dude, I'm taking profit right here. Like, I'm getting out. I'll hold a little bit, but I'm taking a lot of this off. People got so upset with me. They're like, oh, bro, what are you doing, man? You're betraying the movement. Like, somebody's going to always talk you into holding. Again, I've made, say whatever you want. But at a certain point, you got to just cut these things.
Well, it's just like in a casino. You got to, once you have a decent profit, you're smarter to just walk away, I think.
Right, I'm not against you guys. I am not against you guys. If you're in CAR, I am not against you. I'm definitely a paper hands. Yelling at me, listen, I'll get a big sign on my desk that says paper hands. I think, and to a certain extent, I think being a paper hands is the right move half the time. Again, I think people are always going to talk you into holding, but at a certain point, it's time to get out. You know why? It's because every single short squeeze in history, almost every single one, most of them have lost all of the gains they made. And I know. Go ahead, Brett. Sorry.
I was going to say, if you stay in, yes, you might make a little bit more money. You might even make a lot more money, or you might lose everything.
All of it. Yeah, that's the. And I think you have to look at the underlying asset as well, right? The underlying asset is Ava's Budget Group. All right, it's a car rental company. It's not a good one. It doesn't make a lot of money, and yeah, I mean the margins aren't good for these type of companies. At a certain point, you've done the job. You've squeezed the stock. The stock's up, 1,000%. It's time to, ride off into the sunset happy. Not hold on to it. Maybe you'll make more. I'm not shocked to see this down here.
It's a bird in the hand type situation.
Yeah. Is anybody still holding car? Let me know. But yeah, a nasty chart right there, dude. It's a nasty chart. NASDAQ kept on dipping here, guys. The interesting thing is that oil hasn't really gone. I mean, as I say that, oil is up, actually. So oil's jumping. The NASDAQ is dipping here. Let's see if we got any breaking news from this. But all right, so Polymarket is apparently at risk because of an insider trading case. According to Barron's, a U.S. Army sergeant accused of insider trading on Polymarket allegedly used a VPN to bypass U.S. restrictions, breaking multiple rules Regulators say Polymarket itself could be liable for failing KYC checks and allowing U.S. users on an unlicensed platform, violating Commodity Futures Trading Commission rules. Iran believes its military should have authority over the Strait of Hormuz, an official said. Bro.
Yeah, that's totally going to happen.
I mean, of course, people are going to be using Polymarket to get into stuff. Every time you say breaking news, I open up True Social. I'm not mad at that, bro. Honestly, every time I say breaking news, I open up True Social. I'm trying to go. Huh?
You mentioned Polymarket a second ago. What is that?
It's like Kalshi, but it's, you know,
Okay.
It hasn't been regulated in the U.S. It's odds makers.
Okay. Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to ask before we got too far off of it.
No, you're good, bro. You're good. Yeah, Michael Saylor buys a bunch of Bitcoin. Yeah, Iran is definitely putting in bets in Polymarket. To be fair, I think both sides probably are. Maybe it's not Polymarket, but I think both sides are laying some bets down. If we're looking at it objectively, I think both sides are laying some bets down. You know, right? What do you guys think? Do you think both sides are laying some bets? Look at oil start to rise here. So oil is starting to go up. We're at 95.60s right now. 95.60s. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they've got to be making bets. Both sides. They've got to be making bets. You know?
I know I would be.
I mean, dude, they got to be making bets, dude. POET? I don't know, man. I don't know. Is the sky blue? Yeah. I'm trying to see why oil's up. I don't really see a reason for it, though. I'm looking at it. But I don't really see, like, a big reason oil's pushing here. You see the guy with the hair dryer at the thermometer? Yeah, K and B, I'm not sure about it. Look at oil, guys. Oil at 95.50s, 95.5s. All right, we're at 95.5s.
And you couldn't find a catalyst for it?
No, I think we see a couple different things here. We see oil moving, we see Nvidia dipping down pretty substantially, and we see the NASDAQ falling down with it here. I don't see a catalyst here, though. Do you guys see any reason? I mean, this mostly started, what, around 8:23 market time? 8:23 market time, so we're down, but it doesn't mean too much, but we are down here. Let's see if this holds. I don't really see a catalyst for this, though. I don't see any catalyst online either. Only 4 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, but this was about 5 minutes ago. I see Trump is going to meet security team as Iran talks stall. President will meet national security officials today to review stalled negotiations with Iran, according to sources. The meeting follows its decision to cancel a planned Pakistan trip by envoys Witkoff and Kushner for further talks. Officials will weigh the next steps, including whether to restart the paused U.S. campaign. That could be it. That's probably what this is he's going to meet with security officials today to talk about stalled talks. And yeah, oil is pushing up. NASDAQ is pushing down here. The oil back up to 95.50s. We did hold right here at the previous closing price, but yeah, it's looking like that's what's going on here. Is basically just the stalled oil talks are pushing things higher. Where does oil close today at? Y'all still think Nvidia breaks all-time highs? I mean, it pulled back some, but I think if we get some bulls coming in at the opening bell, maybe you know, we can tap that all-time high level here on the Nvidia chart. Okay, one of the Hanzila Cyber Group says the U.S. Navy will be more vulnerable than any other organization in the coming hours, according to FARS News reports. Again, Tasnim cited Kepler data, said only 4 vessels passed through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, showing the water rate remains mostly blocked. Is what this looks like.
So what was the name of that cyber group?
The Hanzala Cyber Group.
Okay.
Don't ask me about it because I don't know who they are.
I was gonna look into it.
Yeah, I see a couple different names getting thrown out here, but yeah. Where's the VIX at this morning? I'm assuming the VIX is low. Yeah, VIX. I mean, it's not that low considering markets are at all-time highs. It's at 19s. We have 3 aircraft carriers in the area now. This will not be negotiated anymore. All right, guys. All right, we got about 1,000 people here right now. About 1,000 people. Should I pivot to a short right now, guys? Let me know. Should I pivot to a short right now? Oh yeah, it's the guy. The guy's laughing at me. I gotta change this song. Should I pivot to a short right now? Yes or no? Put yes or no in chat right now. Let me know. Yes or no, short time. Go long? No. No. Short this overpriced market? No. Yes. Mostly no's in chat right now. Mostly saying I should not short. I should go long. Yes. No. Yes. No, the guy is laughing at you. Yeah, that's what it feels like right now. That's what it feels like. Market only goes up. Go short. Whatever Britt says. Long or short, Britt? What do you think? No?
Dude, I don't know. Long, you know? I don't know.
Long?
Yeah.
I could short this level right here. This 27,440 level. Yeah. I mean, I don't necessarily hate shorting this level here. We'll see.
Fine. Don't do what I said.
Yeah, we'll see. Absolutely. You have to pay me for advice. How much? Hello, everyone. Good morning. Hope everyone is good. What's up, crypto? All right, guys. Both long and short.
It's too long on one account and short on the other.
That's actually illegal, Britt.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Britt is pushing illegal things, guys. Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me, everybody.
You're fired. Yeah. Everyone go.
What's the term?
Everyone long John.
What's the term for that? I mean, obviously it's illegal, but is there a specific term for doing that?
Yeah, it's called hedging.
Oh, okay. Definitely heard that term. Just didn't know that's what it referred to.
Well, hedging is a pretty broad word, right? Like hedging can refer to companies taking counter positions. Like, okay, like if you want to limit your risk, right, and you buy a bunch of, let me think the best example of this. If you think the market's going to crash and you're like overwhelmingly short, right? You can buy up a bunch of gold to hedge that position, you know, just in case you're wrong, you know. Is one example of like a hedge. But with the prop firms we're using in futures, if you do that, like you can't go long on one account and then short in the other and basically guarantee profits on one and then, you know, not the other. It's
okay.
You know, it would be too easy to pass, number one, because you could just go long on one and short on the other. And as long as you get the right price action, like it would end up working. The other way, you know, the other reason is just because It kind of games the system, so to speak.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, if you want to help support the channel, you can check out Lucid here. Guys, here's Lucid. Great way to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. Lucid has... I like Lucid, you know, the most out of a lot of them. I like Lucid right now. I like Take Profit a lot right now. Apex is great as well. But Lucid is good just because it gives you a bunch of different options. And most day traders do lose money. I'll put this link up. You can use my coupon code BGT, get the max discount. I keep putting 50% off. I got to change that. I think it's 40% off right now for new users. There's the link right there if you want to check out Lucid. Great way to help support the channel. I should have shorted this level, guys. I feel like I should have shorted. Chat was wrong, I think, here, dude. Chat was wrong.
But you said you should have shorted it?
Yeah, it's not illegal. Illegal is the worst word. Or the wrong word. I should have shorted it right there. I mean, we ended up dropping. Like, look at this drop that happened after I wanted to short it, guys. Look at this. Look at it right now. Look at this, man. Chat. You know. How could you do this to me, chat? But we are dropping here. Look at this drop. I wanted to short, just to put this into perspective, guys. I wanted to short right here. What I know is that if I ask the chat something, I should just not do it. Or I should just do whatever I want to do and don't ask the chat at all.
All I gotta say is I appreciate, you know, whoever suggested asking me, throw me the ball, but it's a really bad idea. I know nothing. Like, it was literally just a guess.
Yeah, Britt, how could you be wrong about this, dude? I blame you for this, Britt.
I'm never wrong about anything. I'm just temporarily not right. That's all.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, honestly, realistically, markets are going to keep pushing up eventually anyway, so you probably are right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you. I know I should have gone long. Or I should have gone short, guys. I wanted to short.
Be the greatest one day.
Yeah, I wanted to short. I asked the chat if I should short. They were like, no, John, don't do it, bro. Like, don't do it, man. And here we are.
Thanks for being scapegoat. I appreciate it. Unless it's me.
I mean, we asked you, Britt, but I mean, and I'm partially being honest here. Nobody's about to listen to you, you know.
I hope they don't.
Nobody's about to listen to you, Britt. That's all right, you know.
Look, if it's about like things in the kitchen, ask me. If it's about stocks, don't ask me anything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you, bro. Nobody's gonna listen to you here, dude.
Take over for the next hour. You got this now. I don't think so. Thanks, Chef.
Look at this drop, man. Honestly, realistically, look, I'm just gonna say this, okay? It's surprising how wrong the chat is sometimes. You know? Like, how many times have I asked the chat what to do? And listen, I love you guys, chat. Look, and it's all love here, you know? Y'all are my friends. Kind of. But I don't know if I'm gonna listen to you guys anymore. Because
since I've been on, they've been wrong like 5 times. Like,
I know y'all have led me astray over the last few weeks, and I think my initial intuition is usually right. Usually right. Dare I say that? You know.
I'm now your financial advisor. Prepare to be broke, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Britt, listen. I'm gonna let you control this eval right here, dude. All right, Britt, you ready? I'm gonna put you on the spot.
Okay.
You control it. All right. You tell me when to buy or sell. I'll control the sizing, Britt.
Oh God.
Yeah. Pawn just gave me this idea. I think it's a good idea. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
Okay. I have no idea. How's that?
Yeah, number one rule: always do the opposite of what somebody in the chat tells you. All right, Bree, it's your time to shine, bro. It's your time to shine. What do I do here? Long or short?
Dude, I don't know. Short.
Short? Okay.
Yeah, I guess.
10 contracts short, guys. Britt told me to.
Whole chat's gonna make fun of me. This is not gonna be cool.
Yeah. Eventually, we're gonna have Brit trading on here. This is the first step. All right, Brit, you're up right now, dude. You're up $100.
Cool.
I'm gonna take profit. Look, I took half of that off just now. You know, like I said, I control the size. We'll leave the other 5, and we can hold it pretty close to break even. Look at this drop, Brit.
Oh, no, I don't know.
Look at this drop.
I'm
gonna take some more off right here too. Now we only have a small piece of this position left.
Honestly, I have no idea where to go from here.
Do I add size back short, or do I stay in this size and hold the rest break even, Brit? What would you do?
I don't know which one's the safer option.
Not adding size?
Well, then do that.
Okay.
Maybe it's a little kind of cheating for me to ask you advice, but...
Well, yeah. I mean, that's fair. To be honest, I said I was going to control the size anyway, and so I should have even asked you.
I'm also about 5 seconds behind, like, what you're watching, so...
Oh, we'll just pull up the NQ. So this is a blind trade right now, guys. This is a blind trade by Brit. 5 seconds is a lot. You know, that's centuries in markets. Okay, so officials to discuss whether to resume U.S. campaigns on Iran after the ceasefire extension. So again, the president's supposed to be meeting with his top advisors on whether they want to restart this conflict and, you know, get away from the ceasefire. I'm going to just cut this trade so Brit can have a green trade. Brit made money, guys. Brit made money on the trade.
Hooray! I'm the greatest. Thanks.
You did it, man. You did it.
I didn't do anything.
You were right, bro. You were right. Listen. All right. Now what do I do, Brit? Long or short right here? Silence from Brit.
Long. I guess. Try that. I'll just try the
Long?
opposite of what I... Yeah, try the opposite of what I did before.
All right, we're long right now.
And honestly, I'm just going to leave it up to you to pick when to, like, switch it up or get out or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, you're green so far, actually. You're kind of green. Yeah, Brit's almost green. Is Brit AI? He should be, you know.
Brit is nervous, is what he is.
Not an investment professional, guys. Not an investment professional. Looks like I got out right around that lows on the first trade you got into. Now you're green on the second. Let's see if we push higher here. We're kind of in a sideways range, though, is what this looks like. And so shorting might have been a better move. Brit, how could you get this wrong, dude? Yeah, like I'm going to cut this right here and just get out. I don't like that move at all.
It's just a shame. I know I'm supposed to know everything, you know?
I know, dude. Listen, you've been here for a week or two, bro. You know, you're supposed to get these things right now, dude. A week or two.
I know.
You know,
I have a very steep learning curve. You know, I should have been an expert already.
You've got more skill than the rest of the chat does, Brit. You know.
But do I have the skills to pay the bills? That's the question.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe I should have held that long, dude. Maybe I shouldn't have gotten out here. Look at this candle, huh? Let me make sure nothing else is going on here. We have 45 minutes until the opening bell. Verizon says consumer postpaid phone churn improved further to below 85 basis points in March. Domino's CEO says consumer sentiment hit the lows of 2020. Weather and the ongoing inflation picture impacted purchasing decisions. Interesting.
Top 3-week trader of all time? You're darn right I am.
Honestly, I should have held this. I think Brent would have been right, dude. Brent wanted to go long right here. I messed
And we'll
it
just
up.
pretend we'll just pretend that I that I knew that going in, like I really predicted it.
Yeah. Yeah, time for the disclaimer. Yeah, I needed that disclaimer right then. Britt would have been right though, honestly. So
Like, probably the first or second time I've heard that in my life. You're right.
yeah, I mean,
It's not that I
well,
haven't been right many times before, but people just don't like to give me credit because they're intimidated by me.
yeah, that's right. That's it. That's it, Britt. That's what it is, dude. You've got skill, man, and they want your skill, and they just don't have it.
Yeah, well, they can want in one hand and you know what in the other, and see which one fills up first.
Britt is the top 3 most right. That's right. All right, guys. I think we're in a sideways range here, though. Realistically, I mean, that's the range right now. Terrible square. Definitely not an even square I just drew, but
Fred is the
it's
top 3
nasty.
trader on this channel. There's only 2 of us. That's terrible.
Brits are in the top 2 here on this channel, dude.
Well, thank you.
You've made it. You've made it. No, we don't have any data today.
Yeah, Brit has arrived.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. All right, Britt. Here's your redeeming moment here. Long or short. Don't just do the opposite of what you did last time, too. You got to look at the NASDAQ here.
Okay. All right,
Sideways range until Powell makes his final decision. Yeah, that's possible. We might have sideways range until Powell makes a decision.
Honestly, right now, long. From what I'm seeing, but a little behind, like I said.
Well, I'll try it.
I mean, hey, if I'm wrong, it's your money,
Yeah. I mean, so far you're actually pretty right here. We had this big pop up as long as we don't like reverse quickly. I think a good reward target would be at the VWAP up here.
Okay.
But so far we're popping up. Maybe I should have taken a little bit off right there on that big pop. Short. Fly me to the moon, Brit. Short, guys. Head and shoulders, 30 minutes. Yeah, Powell's not raising rates here. I mean, he's just not. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take profit just so Brit can be right. So we've taken profit here, Brit.
Okay.
We still have 5 contracts, though. So we don't have any economic news. Not today. We don't have any economic reports today. It's pretty slow. But aside from that, I mean, obviously it's a big week for markets. We have the Bank of Canada rate decision on Wednesday, the FOMC decision on Wednesday. We got the Bank of Japan decision tonight, I believe.
What time? I'll look.
Yeah, I think it's at like 10 o'clock market time. They're expected to pause rates, though. They're not expected to change it. A rate hike from Powell is not coming, bro. We had the guy that bet me or something that Powell would raise rates 50 basis points. That's just not freaking happening. Go up? Yeah, I don't know. We'll see, guys. We'll see. We're in this trade.
Think you should get out here or no?
Nah. I'm going to look for the VWAP here. We can hold it break even now. We've already taken profit. It's one of the positions that are always good to find yourself in. It's like you can hold it break even. You have to worry less about, everything, and we can just let it see. I'm looking for the VWAP here. The VWAP's 450. Right around 450. And so we're going to take profits probably around 440. See if we can hold. With that said, we're pushing up. We'll take a little bit more profit here, though. We'll take 2 off, lock it in. Everything is happening Wednesday, including my birthday. Hey, nice job.
Happy birthday
today. Yeah.
Oh, early birthday, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dude. All right, guys. All right. We're still in bridge trade here. And bridge trade's going surprisingly well, dude. It's going surprisingly well. Will it hold here, guys? Will it hold? It kind of is. One time I changed my power number and I could have won 50K if I didn't change it. Britt told you to change it, didn't he? You know? I know it. I know he did. I know. I know. The question is, will the guy that told me we would raise rates 50 basis points next on Wednesday show up here and experience the shame he should feel for telling me that? You know? I seriously doubt we'll ever see him again. I can't remember his name because we never saw him again. You know, he disappeared. So, you know, if we look at odds for this, just to put this into perspective here, if we take a look at the odds for a rate hike this week, there's literally nothing. I don't even see it. I've really never seen this before. Hold on, Britt, we're gonna have to get out of your trade. I think right
That's
here.
what I said. That's what I said like 3 minutes ago.
Well,
I mean, I was a little tenuous, unsure about it, but I had a feeling that it would start going back down.
Yeah, look, I've never seen this before. We have 100% chance of a pause Wednesday. 100%. That's strange. No, that's not strange. 100% chance of a pause. Weird.
I don't have enough experience to say, but based on your reaction, it seems odd to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've never seen it. It's 100%. Nothing is ever 100% odds. I mean, unless I think it's pretty freaking low odds. But yeah.
60% of the time, it works every time.
Strange, dude. This is just odd. This is weird. Should be no pause. 50-50. Definitely not 50-50. 50-50 what? That we raise rates Wednesday? Of course we're not. It's Jerome Powell's last FOMC meeting, dude. You know, there's no chance.
Just an FU out the door.
Yeah, there's no freaking chance. Look, Brett, I held here. You know, we're back to green on the trade. I did not sell. I believe in you, Brett. This is all me believing in you right here, dude. This is me believing in you, Brett.
Well, I appreciate the belief. You know, I believe in you too. You're the greatest.
Yeah, man. Look, we'll put Britt's profit up here. I believe in you, dude. This is what it is, man. You know.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you know, that's what this is. All right, hold on. Cancel. Should I add to this, Britt, now? Yeah, inflation, we're not going to raise rates. Again, they're not trying to shock markets. If Jerome Powell was like, hey, guys, this is my last Fed meeting. We're raising rates 50 basis points. It would really leave a pretty rough mark, you know.
Man, this is so sideways. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I guess you could take a chance and add to it, but if I'm wrong. It's your fault.
I mean, it's definitely my fault, dude.
I don't know. What do you guys think, chat? Help me out.
Wait, why isn't there a clip option? Hold on. There's no clip option on the stream. He's right. All right, look, I got to cut the trade.
Yeah.
I'm out. Yeah, it'd be funny. It's just not happening. It's just not happening. Nvidia's still sideways here. Here's the NASDAQ. Here's the ES. Yeah, I'm out. But again, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. We have to test 327 before. We'll see, dude. I don't know.
Help me out. Honestly, like every choice I made was instinctual. Teach me what I should have been looking for to establish the pattern.
I don't think any of your bets were necessarily wrong. I think right now, I think as we get higher up here, a short option makes more sense. Why? Because we have all these big milestone levels right here. Right, so we've got the 200 exponential, we got the volume weighted average price, and we got the previous closing price. Right, and so I think that's a lot of levels to get over. I'm not saying we can't, but that's a lot of levels to fight our way over. You got some traders that are looking for a rejection here, and so they're shorting. You got some traders looking for a rejection here at the VWAP, they're shorting. Some traders looking for a rejection here on the 200 exponential, they could be shorting as well. And so, you know, I don't think your original short idea was wrong necessarily. I think it's looking more like we're gonna come. Hold on. It's looking more like we're gonna come down here, move up to this, and then reject back down, and then do something at the opening bell. But who knows, right? We don't really know what we're gonna get here. We could also do the opposite. It's not. None of it is really easy to predict. I would say here we could continue back higher and go up. You know, and there's a lot of confirmation bias in markets. And so if we ended up doing what somebody wanted us to do, then they're going to say, oh, well, you know, easiest way to put it is if CPI dumps markets 3% and somebody had the best, like somebody's favorite short indicator showed up right before CPI dropped. You know, a lot of times they're going to discredit CPI and they're going to say, hey, you know, my short indicator worked. Like, this is what worked. The reality of it was CPI that dropped markets. And I think the same thing happens in pure technicals as well, where, you know, there's a lot of variance. It's not really easy to predict. I think it looks more like a short here personally. And the reason I think it looks more like a short is because, again, we got the previous close, we got the volume weighted average price, and we have the 200 exponential all above us. This did reject it. The previous closing price did reject it. And I think it makes more sense just in a longer term trend. Like if we put up like a 5-minute here. We broke under these big levels. Like just to clarify, we broke under all these levels. We broke under the VWAP. We broke under the 200 exponential. We broke over to the previous closing price. And so now that we've broken under those levels and we're having kind of an exhaustion rebound, we might continue the downward trend to at least this 390 level, 400, 390 or 400. After we hit those levels, I really don't know what we're going to do. So if we get down here, you know, I think you could bounce here, which is kind of where the lows of some of these levels are. Or we could, you know, just keep on dumping.
So do you think if all three of those indicators weren't right there together, we would have had a better shot of going up?
Maybe. I think, like, I like to do something that is called piggybacking off of big moves. And so even if we don't have those indicators there, right, like what we saw here is a big move to the downside like this. And so what I look for is like a significant move. Like you can see the volume surge here, like you can see the volume go up. And so once we get a move like that, I look for a smaller bounce and then I piggyback off the move. And then I take the trade in the same direction as the original move, you know? And so I don't want to jump in anywhere around here. It's just too risky, you know? So instead, I kind of piggyback off of it, so to speak, and write it back down. But this is a news-driven market. And so I can make all these different assumptions and try to base my trades around stuff like this. But the reality of it is nobody freaking knows which way we're going to go. Like, we could also just rip up higher. Again, a lot of this market is news-driven. And so what we're seeing a lot in this market is just news-driven moves. Like, moves that are happening from news. And those are really what's pushing the markets up. I think one of the things that we're going to look at right now, and one of the things that could influence markets, is the president is supposed to be meeting with some of his advisors today. And one of the things they are meeting with their advisors over is whether to continue strikes, whether to do more strikes now. You know, essentially what they're saying is like, hey, we're not getting a deal done with Iran. Should we continue strikes? That is supposed to be going on today. And so if we get news that if we get news that shows that they're going to resume strikes, market could certainly just dump back down, right? We've been at all-time highs, and with that said, look at this drop showing up in markets here. So I'm seeing a drop right now. This could just be 9 a.m. volatility, but yeah, we're dropping right now, guys, right now.
Also, I got to say, if you guys enjoyed, you couldn't actually see it, but if you guys enjoyed watching me get the flop sweats in real time, smash the like button and join the Discord, please.
Yeah, guys. Yeah. I see Microsoft would no longer pay a revenue share to OpenAI. Yeah. Leaks info. Yeah, we'll see what we get, dude. Again, I don't really see... what I'm watching for, again, is an update on whether we're going to resume strikes. We've been at a ceasefire for, what, a couple weeks now? But so far, you know, we are starting to head down a little bit here. We'll see if this holds, but we are starting to kind of dip. Heading into the opening bell. Yeah. Yeah, we're going to be day trading market open. Yeah, I think the short idea could have worked. Maybe I should have stuck in it a little bit more, but yeah, so apparently the clip feature is gone completely. Oh well. Yeah, look at the drop showing up in markets, guys, on the bear side here. And I think that makes the most sense. We had this big move right here. And then traders are going to try to piggyback off of it. So jumping in short around here and then riding it back down. So here we're at that 390, 400 level I talked about. And again, we could bounce here, or obviously we can keep going down. Right now it's looking like markets are just dropping here. So Microsoft's OpenAI license will be non-exclusive. Where's Microsoft at? Yeah, Microsoft is driving this. Look at Microsoft here. So Microsoft's OpenAI news. Look at Microsoft right now. The software fears continue. This is Microsoft driving this. Again, we got news a couple minutes ago that Microsoft... Yeah, today's not FOMC. But again, we did get news just now that Microsoft's OpenAI license will now be non-exclusive and that Microsoft will no longer pay a revenue share to OpenAI. Next phase of Microsoft OpenAI partnership, again, non-exclusive.
What does that mean long-term to you? Like, what do you think about that?
Well, it just means they're working less together, and people are going to assume this is worse for Microsoft, and Microsoft is reacting really negatively here. It means other companies can step in, and that might be worse. Especially, yeah, Microsoft's OpenAI license will now be non-exclusive. Yeah, Microsoft down to 411s. And you can see the NASDAQ is really falling with this. Again, we're at that 390 level. We could bounce here. It just depends on if Microsoft keeps falling. A short Microsoft's pop. Yeah, I mean, if you shorted that first pop in Microsoft, you're probably doing really well because it says Microsoft's OpenAI. Microsoft says OpenAI can now serve all products across any cloud provider, will remain OpenAI's primary cloud partner, and will continue to have a license to OpenAI IP to 2032, but that OpenAI can now serve all products across any cloud provider. That's what's tanking Microsoft right now, is this news. And here's the NASDAQ dipping down here, but yeah, that's what's breaking down Microsoft right now for sure. Yeah.
So if you were trading here, would you go long here or short?
I'm kind of neutral right here. We're at lows right now.
Yeah, I thought that might cause it to jump back up, pop back up, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, we're at lows. at this point, either entry is greedy. I'm not going to short at lows or anything. If I short, I'm going to look for a bounce. If I long, I need more confirmation on it. So for me, I'm kind of neutral in this. Like, I'm not going to do either one of those things, you know?
Yeah.
So we'll see. We're at 27,394s.
So what, basically you just need a few more candles before you would decide on something like that?
Yeah, like it's not always the time to enter. Again, like I said, we could bounce right here at 390s. So this is some, you know, what I've been saying, and this is like, if we zoom out here, this is one of the levels I talked about this morning. Like if you look at some of these levels I've drawn, here's 390s right here. And so I drew this level this morning. It's kind of this first step here. If we break under 390, markets are really going to get nervous. And then if we break under, like, really it's like 350s right here on the NASDAQ, I think the bears are really in control. So, and if we zoom out here, these are the two levels I talked about this morning on the NASDAQ, if you caught us really early, which is here and here. Here's the Sunday low. This is the really isolated low that a lot of people watch and pay attention to. And so that's why I'm saying, like, if we can't break underneath this level here, you know, we could rebound back up. It doesn't mean too much yet. And the other thing is that this is a catalyst driven move. You know, this is Microsoft's negative reaction here. And if Microsoft starts to bounce, you know, the NASDAQ might get rebounded back up here. Here's Microsoft right here. So again, from where we were there, I don't really like either one. I got to wait for more. Where do you guys, what's your trade idea today, guys? Let's talk about it. Let me know in chat right now. Kind of list your trade ideas. We'll see what happens. But long or short in the NQ. Here's the NQ. It did bounce exactly at that 390 level we talked about. Do not lose money. Only looking for shorts up here. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate a short here, but that would assume, like, a short here would basically be betting that Microsoft is going to correct back down here. And that's not a guarantee, you know.
Give me 1 second, John. I'll be right back, okay?
Okay. Bear control, observe for the day. Yeah, we'll see. AMD, Tesla, Microsoft, Amazon. Socks will diamond hands. Hey, good luck, dude. All right, so we are starting to dip a little bit here. I mean, you can get a continuation short in here. It just depends on what Microsoft does.
All right, I'm back.
Okay, I jumped into a little short here. We'll keep holding this. You know, we'll cut some of this here. There we go. A little bit more. A little bit more off here. And then now we can just kind of let the rest sit here, I think. Semiconductors feel like crypto meme coins right now. Yeah. Memory too. All right, so we're short. We've already taken a lot of profit off on this thing, but I'm not going to let this run too much here, to be honest. I'd like a rejection back down to the lower volume area, the volume profile, but sometimes what we want and what we get is different. Let's see if we get it. Yep, it looks like that might be one of these times. Now we're kind of flat here in the trade. I'm just going to get out. We waited enough for it, but We got a big choppy range here, and we're ahead of the FOMC decision today. So we don't have an FOMC decision today. We have the FOMC decision later this week, but sometimes markets are just choppier leading into those things. But yeah, it's a jam-packed week, honestly. We got so much stuff going on. Do you guys think we pull back today? Most people are still bullish, though, man. Like, if we look at the data here, most people are still pretty bullish. 70% say yes, Nvidia breaks all-time highs today. Let's end this poll. We did this poll already. And we'll see what we get on another poll here. Does the market pull back today? It's going to be a good question. Yes or no? Vote on that poll. That poll is now live. Does the market pull back today? Let me know what you guys think. Anybody have this bad cold that lingers? Yeah, dude, I've had a cold that has been, like, my sinuses have lingered. Like, I feel fine now. I still can't breathe out of my nose, and my cough was bad. My cough is finally a little bit better. It's still not good, but my cough was honestly a lot worse. So I had, like, a rough cough for a while.
Honestly, I don't think I've had a cold in years.
No, I envy you, Britt.
You should.
I know, dude. Listen.
It's great not being sick, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Knock on wood.
No, I swing trade too, man. I like swing trading, you know.
All right, see you later, Sam. Have a good day. Be safe.
Yeah. See you, Sam. Yeah. Hey, dude. Love you, bro. Have a good day, dude. Maddie knows. Maddie knows. Beat her at ping pong twice yesterday. Now that I'm healed, my reaction time is better. You know, just great skills. Great skills in life.
I bet Maddie was probably sick when you beat her.
You know, these are skills I acquired in life. You know, it's hard not to be this good at ping pong. You know, I love you.
That'll take you far, huh?
I love you. Have a great day. That's right. You know, listen, when you got skills like this, it's hard not to talk about them, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. If I was as great as you are, I would talk about it all the time.
That's right. That's right. All right, guys. What do we do here? We're kind of sideways in range here. I guess I'm kind of short biased, but I think you could also push right back up here. I'm just going to point it out there. We talked about 390 bounce, and that's exactly where we bounced to. Exactly where we bounced. I know. I
was right again.
Yeah, just listen.
Even though I was very ambiguous.
I'm in this eval account too, and I jumped in some pretty big size here, and so we're short. I'm going to cut a little bit right there. I'm going to give it some time here, though, but we are very sideways. How much time we got? We got 15 minutes into the opening bell. Okay, that's fine. If I get stopped out, break even. That's all right. We give ourselves a chance, but dude, we're just chopping back and forth here. I'm going to cut most of this and then get out. We made money, but...
Do you monitor like medical tech sectors very much?
Some. It's not my favorite sector. I don't like medical sectors as a whole, especially like there's just too much. I'm trying to think of the best word for it. There's too much. What's the word? There's too much like everything is the next big thing, and you know they're trying to sell it too much. It's hard to find what the real truth is in those sectors, because especially like biotechs, they'll be like, yeah, this biotech stock is the next big thing. It's going to be the greatest thing ever. And really what they're trying to do is they're just trying to talk people into buying it. And so it's hard to tell whether that's actually true or not. And it's very difficult to figure out which ones to buy. And it's the same thing in the device sector as well. Device sector is maybe a little bit less like that, but still like that enough for me to kind of not really want to be in, if that makes sense.
No, I understand. I was just curious because I was actually looking at a stock or a company that went bankrupt called ViewRay. I don't know if you've ever heard of it, but they developed MRI guided radiation therapy, and it sounded like a great technology. It limited how much of your body actually got bombarded by radiation to just the part with cancer, and it sounded like it would just be gangbusters. And then for some reason, it just went completely bankrupt. It was big for a while.
Yeah, no, that's absolutely what happens, bro. That's what happens. And that's why it's biotech stocks are really well known for that. Where like a company can look like it's going to be the next big thing. It can be up huge percentages. And then they come out with like a slightly missed trial result and then it just dumps and goes out of business. And so it's very common. Very common.
Okay. Britt sounds like he'd get scammed easily. You're wrong. Only because I'm very, very skeptical about most things.
He's wrong. I sold Britt about 5 timeshares last year. All right. And they're nice timeshares. Okay. They're nice.
Well, to be clear, he actually sold me the same one 5 times.
Right. All you got to do,
see it coming.
All you got to do, Britt, is you got to go to 8 meetings a day. 4 out of 5 days you're there during the year. You know what I mean? So it's a steal. It's a deal.
Yeah, I get to spend 30 whole minutes in the cabin in Aspen, right?
That's right. That's right. If it's available. If it's available.
But no, when I am not knowledgeable about something, I'm very skeptical. I don't generally tend to jump in with both feet on anything.
Yeah. I mean, have you heard about the company Aerotyne International, Britt?
Aerodyne? Yes, I've heard of Aerodyne.
Dang it, dude. I was about to hit him with, it's a cutting edge firm out the Midwest, awaiting imminent patent approval in the next generation of radar detectors with both huge civilian and military uses, Britt. What do you think about that?
I think it sounds like a winner,
Right.
I'm gonna sell my house and just put all my money into that.
You could pay your mortgage, dude.
Yeah.
Man, I'm still kind of mad that you knew that, Britt. I was about to hit you with that, so, I was hoping Britt would get into it too. I was like, Britt's gonna get into this. He's gonna be like, "Ooh, that sounds interesting." Oh well.
Even if I didn't know it, I can read your voice pretty well, so I can kind of tell. I can usually tell when you're messing with me.
Yeah. That would have been fun. Yeah, I'm still kind of mad about it.
Just one of the pitfalls of having been friends for 20 years. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. All right, so we're green in this trade. We held on to it. As I say that, it pushes up here. I gotta be bearish though here, guys. What do you guys think? Are y'all bullish or bearish on this? No, timeshares go after everybody. I was involved with one, not involved with one. Let me
approached about one.
I went to Six Flags one year, and Six Flags does this thing where they I don't even know why they allow these people there. They do this thing where they're like, hey, spin the wheel and maybe you'll win a free vacation. And so me, naive, teenage John, I wasn't a teenager. I think I was 20. I'm like, sure, I'll spin the wheel. And then it's like, boom, you've won a Florida vacation. And I'm like, oh, dude, I won a Florida vacation. I researched it immediately. Google was still around back then. I immediately Googled it and I'm like, hey, I realized that it's just a scammy timeshare company that's just trying to scam me into, whatever. Never went on that vacation, man. All right, guys.
Really missed out there, dude.
I know, dude. I know. Really, it kind of taught me a lot about timeshares and how they scam people as I researched more and more into it. The NASDAQ, guys. Okay, so let's talk about it. We have this really obvious range here. I still think what I said earlier makes sense. I think one of the signs here, we've got a lot of consolidation around the 200 exponential, the VWAP, the previous closing price right here. And so I do think we have a lot of consolidation around this specific level above us. You can kind of see this level on the chart right here, this level above me right there, that circle line. You can kind of see it right there. And so I think, as long as we maintain underneath this, you know, maybe we're going to start breaking down. Again, if we break down underneath here, I would watch this level down here afterwards. Because if we break underneath this level, I think it might kind of bring some more bears into it. And then if we start breaking this is the low from Sunday's open. Then we can really start heading down. It depends on the news. Again, I think some of the markets might be pricing in the president potentially resuming strikes. I think we saw a couple different catalysts come out this morning ahead of the open in which, you know, they're talking about Trump is going to meet with his advisors on whether to resume strikes. And I think if we do resume strikes, you can interpret that as a bearish thing, higher inflation, weaker markets potentially, and, you know, all that different potential bad stuff coming out. And so I would look at the wires. We'll cover it if it comes out while we're streaming. I would look at the wires here on things. You know, I would look at everything going on things right now. To see what potentially could be going on and in terms of resuming strikes and stuff like that. But for now, we're in this range. And I think for now, heading into the opening bell, we have this very sideways, kind of neutral, choppy, boring range right here. And again, looking at our major levels that we talked about this morning, they're kind of the tops and the bottom of this range here. You can see the VWAP 200 exponential previous closing price at the top of the range. It's literally the top of this range. You can see the bottom of the range is this 390 level we talked about a potential bounce might come in at, and we did bounce right there. And so now we're still in the sideways range, chat. We're still in the sideways range, and really this is what I'm looking at to break. I want to see if we break over or under this level. I think this is the range. We got the 200 EMA VWAP previous close at the top. We've got 290, which is the really isolated low. Why are we looking at 290? Why did we bring attention to 290? Because 290 is this low right here. And one of the things with technical analysis, guys, is that the more obvious something is, the more weight it's going to have on it. This is a really obvious low. Everybody sees this low in recent charts. Everybody understands this low. They know where it's at. They see it. It's really isolated down there. And now we have another isolated low right around the same spot. And so the bottom of this range is what people are going to be paying attention to right here. You know, and the top. You know, the top right here is relevant as well. And so we'll probably look for some form of orb setup this morning at the opening bell. We'll probably look for some type of range setup at the opening bell to see if it holds. But for now, that's the plan. And yeah, we'll see what we get today, guys. Are you guys bullish or bearish for the open? Let me know in chat right now.
Yes.
Yes? Okay, fair. You know, bull and bear. I'm just going to digest that as bull or bear. Bull or bear.
So, I honestly, if I have to pick, I'm going to say bull, just for fun.
Okay.
And again, because I tend to be a pretty optimistic guy.
Yeah, guys, remember, Britt said bull. All right. Britt said bull.
Beer? I wish. Somebody says beer.
Bear, bull, smoky bear, finally bear, most recent low. Yeah, we're going to watch for the opening range breakout, guys. We'll see what happens. We're in the sideways range right now. We're in the sideways range. We will see if we break it. Grizzly bear, bear, bear. Okay. Mostly bears. I'm not
Somebody said pig.
I've just said along thanks to Bert. Somebody said.
Okay. That's still on you, though.
Yogi Bear. Brit's a perma bull? He might be. I don't know. He told us to short originally. You know?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, probably a bull like 70 to 80% of the time.
Yeah, market's breaking down right now, though. Look at this breakdown here. It's probably the market on open data coming in. Yeah, that's what it is. My main says bull. I'm with you, Brit. Bull.
All right, cross your fingers, man.
Yeah, I mean, I believe in Brit. You know, what would Brit do?
Not Brent.
It's definitely Brent.
It's not Brent. There's no N in my name.
I'll allow all of it. It's technically BRT, 1T. It's definitely 1T. Never say it with 2 T's, guys. It's also potentially Bert, BR, like Bert and Ernie. It's also Brick.
Buck. You know, Buck's a good one.
Yeah, Buck's good. Bert. Brett. I've heard it all here. We're short here, guys. We're short. And right now, the market on open is kind of helping. I'm going to take some of this off here, though. Because I'm not going to hold this through the opening bell. Or should I hold this through the opening bell? Look at the short breakdown here, though. Short was right. I'll hold a small piece. There's 400s here, though. So here's 27 fours. Psychological level could cause a bounce.
Yeah, you know, everybody be on the lookout for Bitcoin, you know?
Yeah, yeah. All right, guys. We are short here. And we made money. We made money.
Thanks for the love, Chef.
Yeah.
Everybody, really, you know, but...
Man, look at this bearishness showing up today here, man. Wow. Should I hold this through the opening bell, guys? Let me know. Should I hold this through the open? I expect your guidance.
Please don't make me eat my words. Go up. Go up.
One of the interesting things, though, is that Microsoft is completely rebounded here. Like, let me show you guys. So one of the interesting things ahead of the opening bell, Microsoft has completely bounced back higher here. It's now at 422.13. So Microsoft flew back really today. Microsoft is completely higher. It's made a pretty big move back to the upside here. And but the Nasdaq has mostly stayed red. It's mostly stayed down. We have an even larger range now to look at here. But a lot of people are thinking this bull run reverses. Again, it depends on whether the US is going to resume strikes. If that news comes out, markets are almost certain to come down here. We have 1 minute and 50 seconds left here, guys. 1 minute, 50 seconds. So.
Yeah, I was right earlier. I'm literally about 5 seconds behind the stream.
Oh, well, that's all right. Yeah.
Makes it difficult, though.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's get prepare here, guys. Prepare. Again, I'm watching on the NASDAQ. Again, I'm watching 390. Underneath 390, I think it's like 340s is where that isolated low was. Underneath us here. Yeah. This isolated low down here is at 340s. So we might have a little range down there if we keep breaking down. But we'll see, guys. We'll see. Again, if you want to help support the channel, use my coupon code BGT. You can use it on Tradeify. You can use it on Lucid. You can use it on Apex. Get you the max discount at all times. Help support your friend. You know. We appreciate it. Why is my hair blurry like this?
I don't know. But yeah, we need you guys to support us in this. How else am I going to afford, my next timeshare?
That's right. It's a great timeshare too, Britt. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Opening bells very soon here, very soon. All right. See, we tapped 390 again. We didn't quite break underneath it. I guess I'll hold this through the open, but it's risky. If we just get a big bearish push at the opening bell, which is in 5 seconds. Good luck, guys. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. Here's the open. All right, we got a big spike up at the opening bell here. There we go. Big retracement, kind of whippy price action at the opening bell here. I gotta watch the video though. There we go, we're back down. There you go, there's a flush. Still breaking down. Yes, sir. All right. I'm going to take half of that off here, guys. Look at that drop. Bearishness coming in. We broke under 390, and look at that big surge underneath it. Went down to 360s. 340s is kind of that level, though. But the bears are showing up here. There we go. I said 390s is done. Let's see if it holds resistance now. So we broke under 390s here. The next step is to see if this like holds resistance here and ends up pushing down. So yeah, 390s is kind of the level where you probably want to watch it, see if it rejects. We kind of did at 87s. But remember, 390 is this big isolated level right here. A lot of people are watching. So let's draw a candle here. 390 is what, right here? Yeah. And there we go. We rejected exactly at 390s. Let's see if it holds. It's kind of whippy right now still.
Go up.
You said go up?
I'm talking to the market, not you, but yeah.
No, market. I'm short right now. Don't go up. I'm short.
I know, but if it doesn't go up, I'm going to be wrong, and I can't take that.
I'm
going to lose my three weeks of credibility that I've worked hard to build up.
I know, man. You built skills over the last 3 weeks. I get it, man. All right, guys. Bull or bear right now? I did a poll. 62% think the market pulls back today. All right, we're back over 390, but 390 still has a wall of sellers at it. Look at that. Let's see if it holds. Still pushing down here. We're consolidating a little bit. All right, we're back under it. I've got a nice little range here that I can hold through, so like I don't care too much if this goes the other way. Like I've got my entry's way up here at 425 or so, so I can let this really run and then add to it, maybe even if it goes in my favor, and have some room. I need a little bit more bearish action. We're gonna add to it right there. There we go. Maybe get some more breakdowns here. There we go. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take half off here. It's going to reduce my stop entry, though, but we've already locked a lot of this in. So, there we go. Where'd all the red come from? We broke under that 390 level, man. A lot of people were watching 392. Doesn't mean we're going to hold, but, like, you know, 390 has been holding as resistance up here. We got a lot of red once we finally started breaking underneath it. And so, yeah, 390 just has some levels here. We'll see if we hold, but I'm going to cut it pretty quickly here. If it doesn't, okay, there we go. That's nice. Might add more to this too if it breaks down some more. Just keep riding it down. 340 is the next level though. We break under 340s, it might get weird. So, see if we hold it. Starting to flush. Yeah, we've scaled out. We made a bunch on this trade, but we've scaled out of most of it already. I just want to give it time to break down. I'm holding the rest mostly break even, but I want to see if we break down under this weak part of the volume profile. And then 340 will be like where I get out probably. But if I could add some and then hold through 340, I will. Yeah, let's see if we get the breakdown here. Again, 340 is kind of my level though, where we could bounce at 340. It's the low of futures open, or it's the low of futures on Friday. So we just cracked this low. We might get a kind of a liquidity grab right here though before we retest 340s. Still holding though. I'm gonna use 390 as a risk level, I think, right here. If we break over that, fine. But I'll hold it and let it test that. It's close enough to us. But yeah, market's weak right now, guys. Market's weak. Looking kind of sketchy. Again, Trump is weighing next steps, including resuming a campaign. Is, I think, bad news here. right, so we are breaking down. I'm going to add a little bit to this now. Again, 340s is kind of a level here, though. So we're going to make money on this no matter what, to be honest here. But I want to give it time to break down more. I'll let it rest a little bit here. SPY doing all the work. Yeah, Microsoft has dropped since the opening bell. So here's my stop loss level. We'll let it test, but I'm going to cut it right here now. It's too much risk. It might break down back below it, but yeah, there's a big rebound. So it looks like that was the right move. Yeah, look at Nvidia. Nvidia is getting close to all-time highs here is what this is. So if I put up Nvidia's chart right now, like Nvidia is getting very close to all-time highs. So Nvidia might break all-time highs. It might pull the NASDAQ back higher here. Again, what I'm worried about, though, guys, is I'm worried about... So there we go. We're up to 211.50s. I'm worried about Nvidia testing all-time highs and dragging the market higher. Nvidia is very close to all-time highs right now. Very close. Let's see if it does. All right, so we just jumped in the NASDAQ on the bet that Nvidia might break all-time highs here. There we go. We're going to start liquidating some of this. But we'll hold the rest close to break even here. Because again, Nvidia chat is at 211.60s. It just tapped 212. So it's very, very close to all-time highs. We'll let it bounce off of 290 and see if that holds, and then it pushes back up to retest. There we go. There we go. Let's take another half off there and just lock that in. Ugh. All right, so we're still green here. Gotta see if this holds. We already made money on this though, but I don't like a test of it. Like I say, that 390 level is kind of like my line in the sand. We start to break underneath that. I don't like it. Nvidia's also went right up to the all-time highs and then rejected here. We're starting to see
I guess
software.
it's fair to say I was wrong.
About what?
Oh, I was bullish. I was wrong.
Oh, it's too early, bro. It's too early. You know, opening bell is kind of whippy. Like Nvidia tapped all-time highs. You know. Yeah, what I'm worried about though specifically is that I'm worried we're gonna restart like strikes, and if we do restart strikes, then it can get a little wild out there, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm really worried about, is just restarting strikes and the problems that might occur from that, and the market's reaction to that. It's looking like we might restart, but
I think it's more likely than not, honestly. I hope not, but
yeah, I mean, it's possible.
I just mean, if they don't get off of that right to enrich thing, I don't think it's avoidable. But
yeah, no, 100%. I think if they keep wanting to keep enrichment. We're not gonna
No,
accept it.
I mean, that's honestly, that is a bigger point of contention than controlling the straight, in my opinion.
Yeah, there's more pressure about the straight short term though, so
Yeah,
maybe that's what
you're
they're
right.
betting on. Yeah, I don't see any tweets. There's no tweets.
Yeah, I haven't seen any twits either.
Yeah. All
Thanks
right,
for the
so
encouragement,
Nvidia,
Yellow.
yeah, Nvidia did just break under the 200 exponential in the VWAP though. We're still watching the Nasdaq here. Oil, it's not moving a ton though. Like if we look at oil here, oil's up to 96.3s, 96.3s. Service now is ripping back up.
So is WTI always your shoot, I just lost the word.
About
Never
go
mind.
to. Yeah, it's what I look
Yeah,
at oil
yeah.
with short term. I mean, I think most people are watching. I see some people talking about Poet. Poet's been tanking all morning here. Yeah, Poet's been mostly dropping all morning though. Marvell canceled one of their orders, is what this looks like for Poet. All right, Nasdaq's starting to break down towards that. Again, we're starting to get towards that low level down here. If we get under 340s, I might jump in another short. OQ, yeah. Ooh, spilling my coffee here. I don't know. It's looking bearish right now in markets, guys. Are you guys bearish or bullish right now? Let me know. But it's looking bearish in markets to me. Yeah, it's looking bearish.
I'm not even going to hazard a guess this time. I'm tired of being wrong.
Right, so we're popping up a little bit. I might short a little bounce to 390s here, but that's specifically because Nvidia here. We're gonna jump in short. Nvidia is still looking kind of weak, so we're short here, but it's small. Maybe add more to it if it goes in my favor. Start retesting that 340s level is what we're looking at. There's 390s, so I'm looking kind of at 390s, and we start to rip past this. I'll cut it pretty small trade. Software's looking a little bit better today, though. ServiceNow is back up to 90 plus after being destroyed from earnings. All right, there we go. There's a little breakdown, but still don't necessarily trust this. I'm going to cut some of this here and just leave it alone and then add back if it goes in my favor, which it just did. So we got out mostly flat there, which is fine. All right, so we are at green here. We'll add our size back as we approach these lows, but we're kind of neutral on size right here. Okay, there's going to be a White House press secretary briefing at 1 o'clock today. 1 o'clock. All right, so here's the crack of lows. I'll add size back and we rebound a little bit here. It needs to be a little bit. So if not, we'll just hold through it. We added some size, but just a little bit. It's a great time for a plug entry. Yeah, guys, if you haven't already, check out Lucid. least it's a great way to learn. Most day traders lose. And so I have two main accounts that I like using right now. Tradeify is one of them for direct to funded. Tradeify has a bunch of direct to funded options. And so if you look at Tradeify here, Tradeify's direct to funded is one of the cheapest in the game. Tradeify's direct to funded is like $207 for the 25K account. You can get a 50K direct to funded account on Tradeify for like less than $300. And so Tradeify's got some really good options. If you look at the direct to funded Lightning funded on Tradeify, again, 207 if you use my coupon code BGT at checkout, 207. You can get the 50K one for $295 on Tradeify. So some of the cheapest direct to funded in the game. If you want to check out Tradeify, I'll put the link up right here. Again, you can use my coupon code to get all these discounts. There's a huge breakdown right now. Again, remember what we talked about? We said 340. We are now underneath that right now. We are now underneath 340. So let's see if that holds. There's the Tradeify link right there. You'll love to see it. I might add some size back on a bounce here, though. But look at this breakdown here. There we go. We're under 340s. Yep. Take a little bit off here just to protect the trade. Maybe add back on a rebound retracement here like this. A big breakdown, though. We are under 340s. I'm going to add a little bit of size back here, but keep it relatively small. See if we continue breaking down now. What a drop. Very quick drop. We go over my entry, I'll reduce size. I'll let it test my entry, but we go over it, I'll reduce size. I don't want to reduce size yet, though. Okay, that's good. Try to let the breakdown continue. Man, that was a quick move down here. Are y'all bull or bear right here, guys? Bull or bear? All right, we're going to do size about half here. Sell. I'm short right now. I've been short most of the day.
Say it's going to go up.
Yeah.
Or continue up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely true. It's possible. I mean, not definitely true. It's possible. Sell back 100% bullish. Probably just going to stay in this. I mean, we've made enough on the initial trade to where we can hold through some upward price action here. 390 is still kind of my level, though. We took enough on the way down. Off. To where we can be a little bit looser here and see if the downward trend continues, which it looks like it kind of is. There we go. Okay, we're pushing back down here. That's a red candle. Iran's foreign minister says they'll strengthen ties with Russia. All right, so there we go. We're back green on this. I'm just going to let the breakdown potentially keep happening here. Like I said, 340 is kind of my level. That a lot of people are going to be watching here. If you zoom out, like we just broke under the low from Sunday. And a pullback is starting here. There we go. You saying I'm a bad trader, bro? Dude, I held most of this move, you know. I'm going to cut half of it right here in the profit. We'll let the rest run and then add size back if we get green enough here. That way our risk is pretty small.
So don't hate on John. You're just jealous because he's so good at it.
He might have been hating on you, Britt, really, you know?
Maybe. I mean, that would be true. I would be a bad trader considering I've done it all of once now. One time.
Did you say buy, Britt, down here?
Did I? Probably did, honestly.
uh, yeah, I mean, we're holding the short still. Nvidia just faked everybody out. It got up to 212, 20 cents away from its all-time highs, and then it dumped huge percentages. This is what just happened. Look at me, guys. Look at me. Top 3 worst trader ever here. We're gonna hold this break even on the rest. 208s. It got up to 212s, and then over the next 10 minutes dumped to 208s. The bears are here, though, guys. The bears are here.
Bears are back in town, huh?
That's right. Yeah. And we basically just been following this down. If it goes green, we'll add more. If it doesn't, look. I'm going to cut a piece of that off right there. See if we break down some more, but cut it pretty close here. And still breaking. I'm going to cut it right here and get out. It's taking too long. Might keep dropping, but we've ridden it all the way down from basically 390 down to 300s here, so I can't really complain. I told you guys, I called out my levels this morning here. People say whatever they want about me. I told you guys what would happen when we start breaking under 390. And just to clarify, here's 390. We confirmed that level multiple different times. Here's 390. The level underneath this was 340s, 350s, right around this spot right here, really. So once we crack that, you can see how steep the red shows. Now we're at 300s here, which is the next kind of the line in the sand. So let's see if we reject 340s, 350s up here and then make another move back down, is I think what people are going to be watching for. It's also possible we have like a big rangy day here leading into the FOMC and earnings week that we have this week. So here's 340s. Let's see if 340s rejects. There's 340s. Let's see if this level rejects it here.
I'm not guessing any more today. I've been wrong like 3 times in a row.
Oh. Yeah, if we get over 350s, 340s, then we can look at 390s. But I want to see if these levels reject us. Yep. At least, maybe not. Let's see.
Although my wrongness is a great endorsement for paper trading accounts.
It is, yeah. Or prop firms, guys. Check out prop firms. Yeah, S&P's bouncing up. All right, so we're back over 340s here. We kind of gotten back into that range. Let's see if we start to push back higher here now. It doesn't mean we will, but we've gotten back into that range where, yeah, look at the squeeze start to push higher. I got out that short basically at the exact right time. You know? Like, I got out basically where I should have. Okay, so a source says Iranians have put forward new proposal. Iran has reportedly sent a new proposal to the U.S. that would reopen the strait, but only after an end to the war, and guarantees it will not resume, according to sources. Under the plan, broader talks on the nuclear program and maritime navigation would come later. Yeah, we already saw this morning. So I already saw this news. Look at the market start to rip, though. John, why not ride it up and down? Not gonna lie, that was a perfect exit. Look at Petrosia saying nice things about me, bro. You know it was a good exit. If Pedroza, what does that mean? Is that a name? Yeah, that's a name. Okay. You know I did good if Pedroza says nice things about me, you know?
No one can ever bring you down, John. You're the best around.
I'm the best around today, guys. You know it. John, why not ride it up? Because look, I don't need to take every single move. Yeah. All right, look, there's 390s. We talked about 390s.
Trader than that.
Yeah. We talk about 390s here. Look at we rejected 390s. And this is how you just find ranges to attack here. You can say, okay, we're now over 340s, which was one of the big levels. 390s is a range. You get over 390s, you can say, okay, let's look for a move up to the volume weighted average price. Let's see what happens now, though. Bulls are back, though, for sure. Bulls are running.
I will say, and it's a habit that I need to break, but based on listening to listening to the stream and listening to you, I do have a habit of calling it too quickly one way or the other.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of put you on the spot, though. I'm just messing with you today, bro. We're all wrong sometimes, dude. Nobody's right all the time. And you have the least amount of experience, so it's not like nobody really holds it against you, dude. It's something where I've been trading for years, and I'm wrong a lot of the time. I mean, that's just how it goes. Anybody that you got people that act like they're just geniuses, and I think sometimes like markets want to hear somebody that acts like they're a genius, or
Yeah.
And so it's don't put too much weight on it, bro. You'll get there.
Oh yeah, no, I won't, and I appreciate the encouragement, but I do have, from what I mean, I try to pay attention to my own habits, and I do have a habit of making a call too quickly instead of letting a pattern establish itself.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, you're fired, but like I get it, dude. I'm copying off of it. All right, look, let's see if we can get up to the VWAP here. I will short the VWAP, I think, right now. Although the S&P is technically green on the day. Here's the VWAP and the 200 EMA. Maybe we'll short that. There'll be a longer term trade with smaller size, but let's give it time. Yeah. I mean, it's just normal. Most traders are going to freaking lose, bro. Yeah, like most traders are about to lose, dude. All right, we are starting to bounce back higher here, though. Should I short the VWAP? I don't know, dude. This is a pretty big rebound. Nvidia's getting back up there as well. Like, taking a VWAP 200 exponential trade would be kind of like a range-bound trade here. And I don't know if I should or shouldn't. Nvidia's climbing back higher here, too. It's back up to 210s. We're kind of in the high volume area of the volume profile, though, so I don't know if I really like this either. Maybe if we get over the VWAP and hold support, and then maybe I'll take a long. Watch me say this, and then we reject exactly at the volume weighted average price. John's short entry would have been right here, guys. Let's not say you did. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I still feel... Ugh. This cold just lingers, bro. It's a lingerer, Britt.
Linger, man.
I know. Nobody likes lingerers.
That was a great line in that movie.
Yeah. It's still... That's a hilarious movie, dude. You know?
Oh, totally is. I watched it the other day, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I should have shorted here, guys. I should have shorted at 415s. Flattish till Wednesday. I'm a genius in a bottle. I believe that, you know. All right, guys. Let's see what we get. All right, guys. We're back up there. We got a fake person in the Discord. I'm just gonna boot the new one.
How can you tell?
Uh,
It doesn't matter. I'll just
yeah. Sorry, I'm typing it. Yeah, this is like that scene where we don't know which one the real one is. Yeah. Join our Discord, guys. Help us figure it out. I'm looking. Number one, we have this high volume area of the volume profile here, unfortunately. So like we got too much going on right here for me to really take a trade. We'll see if we hold, but maybe I should have shorted where I wanted to. Yeah, I'm probably just gonna cut out of here, guys, and get out of here. So listen, y'all have a great day. I'm gonna butt on out of here. Again, check out Lucid. You want to help support the channel. No PDT rule in futures. Great way to learn. You can also check out Apex or Tradeify. You can use coupon code BGT at all of them. Apex has still got 90% off. They've got end of day drawdown options now. Cheapest accounts in the game. So if you want really cheap accounts, you know, Apex might be where you should go. Again, everybody's different. They like different ones. Here's the breakdown. But again, use coupon code BGT at all major ones. You'll get the max discount. I think you can use BGT on Take Profit, Lucid, Apex, Tradeify, I think Bullinox, and Trade Day, I think. So, hey, check them out. I'll see you guys later. Y'all be good. Have a great day. Y'all be safe in markets. We'll see what happens tomorrow, bright and early. Y'all be good. Have a great day.
Yeah,
not investment professionals.
Love the chat. Thanks for tuning in. Smash the like button, join the Discord, all that good stuff. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thanks so much. Later, y'all.